Okay, I think most of the people has already joined. So now let's start the session. A very warm and heartily welcome to all the distinguished speakers, team guests, and participants. Today, on 5th June 2026, we come together from across the globe through this virtual platform to celebrate World Environment Day. On behalf of Akone Services and Chaitanya Climate Research Incorporation, I extend my sincere gratitude to each one of you for taking time from your busy schedules to be part on this important conversation and on the event of World Environment Day. We are honored to have with us today an exceptional panel of environmentalists, scientists, academicians, industry experts, and policy practitioners who have dedicated their lives to protecting our planet. Their insights will undoubtedly inspire us to make meaningful action. Friends, World Environment Day is celebrated every year on 5th June to encourage worldwide awareness and action for the protection of our environment. This day was established by United Nations General Assembly in 1972 on the first day of the Stockholm Conference on Human Environment. 2 years later, 1974, the first Environment Day was celebrated on the theme Only One Earth. Since then, it has grown into a global platform for public outreach involving over 150 countries each year. For this year, we have a theme life, means lifestyle for environment, inspired by the nature. So sustainable living for a sustainable future. The life initiative inspired by the India's vision, emphasizing individual choice and daily habit, not just policies and technology, hold the key to combating the climate change. It reminds us that small consciousness and also the small actions like saving water, reducing waste, planting tree, using public transport, avoiding single-use plastic. These are small actions. When adopted by the millions, it can create a ripple effect of positive environmental changes. Why this is important for us? Because our planet is facing unprecedented challenges, rising temperature, global temperature, depleting water resources, loss of biodiversity, and increasing pollution day by day. World Environment Day is not just a celebration, it's a call to action. It urges every person, everyone, like as a citizen, communities, industries, governments, individuals to come together and protect the only home which we have, the earth. So today, as we listen to our esteemed speaker, let us reflect on our on lifestyle, our daily lifestyle, and ask ourselves, like, what can I do differently? How can I contribute to a sustainable future? So, ladies and gentlemen, uh, now we invite our speakers without sparing more time. First, we have dedicated academician who is actively shaping the next generation of the environmental steward while advancing critical research in pollution remediation. I am pleased to welcome Professor Mihir Vyas, who served as an assistant professor in Gandhi Engineering College, Surat. With 18 years of teaching experience, Professor Vyas brings both depth and passion to environmental education. His research area is in advanced oxidation processes and microremediation. Through his teaching and research, Professor Vyas has instrumental in inspiring young engineers to adopt environmentally responsible practices, aligning perfectly with the today's life. Today, he will enlighten us on role of academia in promoting sustainable lifestyle and environmental stewardship. So please welcome Professor Vyas. Over to you, Professor Vyas. I'm just sharing my screen also, so everyone can see.
And environmental stewardship. So it was you can find it in our old books also. So I did not uh, how this the promoting sustainable lifestyle and environmental stewardship can this academicians or how universities and the for next 20 minutes. So I'll be in the sustainable lifestyle. So nowadays, the term environmental in everyone's mind. All of us know, everyone who have joined here, that self suggests that you have many of us are directly connected with this field. But I'm talking about even nowadays regarding the conservation of nature. Due to that, this
I request
sustainability.
people please mute your mic so that
Sir, one was the
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So environment, society, and economy. Before that, what happened actually? Uh, Before 2000 or 1980s, we can say,
Yes, sir.
there was a concept called environment or development, and this is something which is related to environment and development. Conservation of environment. At that particular time, this goal of sustainable development can achieve. It is uh, uh, a very old concept nowadays because most of us listen to these lines very thousand times you can say that. So sustainability basically balances environment, society, and economy, meeting present, compromising future generation. So now my question is, what is a sustainable lifestyle? So most of us nowadays are wearing certain shoes. Say, for example, the shoes which are made up from plastic bottle. You can say we use certain package material. That package material is also having some sort of within it. So nowadays, our lifestyle has become such that we prefer sometimes the materials over the virgin materials. So responsible consumption and resource efficiency plays a bigger role in sustainable lifestyle. Similarly, waste minimization approach or you can say cleaner conscious choices if you have, then that is also beneficial for attaining this sustainability. Similarly, sustainable transport, we have so much development around us so that we have so many choices. And if we wish to go for this thing, a lifestyle in accordance with mission, then I can do it. So then is regarding this, you all know that higher education institute or universities or you can say colleges or where these generate research that drives climate solutions and environmental policies. Similarly, the students who are learning in these institutes are future workforce. So graduates become sustainability leaders across industry, government, and civil society. Uh, you you all know that the stakeholders or the personnel who are the top level managements, they have extensive experience regarding the environmental protection and they can lead society in a better way. So everyone at their future work accordance with the or in line with the environmental protection, and then they can develop their place in such a way that collectively the whole nation can have better development in terms of sustainable environmental protection. Innovation hubs. So most of the institutes are nowadays having the support from government, uh, especially when we talk about government of Gujarat. So government of Gujarat's startup and innovation policy uh, gives the young minds up to two for their innovation, for their proof of concept. So due to this funding, previously students were having certain idea or patents or copyrights or something like that. Due to they are having or due to the problems they were facing. So due to these kind of things like the Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat, KCGs, you can say, or certain other policies of government, the students have now doing work in an incubation center whereupon they can work on green technologies or circular economy or renewable energy systems. Many innovations now converted into startups also. If I remember, at our institute, some student worked on that uh, solar industry problem, and he has his work at even Shark Tank. So the nearby institutes also take support of this GTU incubation center, and due to that, many startups have come these days, and they have reached the marks of public discourse on sustainability. We can teach our students, and even our students can these concepts of sustainability at their home. Say, for example, to be at our institute, we our students, it is very basic actually. This is now being taught in school also to separate that problem, to separate this uh, wet and dry waste. So this has even if we have circulated this message, government has circulated this message. Even door to door surveys are done, and lots of activities have been conducted. Even at the moment, I met yesterday only one of the founder of Innovate for India, an NGO, Surat-based NGO that is working on solid waste management. So they were having the problem that still the municipal corporations receive the waste at uh, waste which is big. Importance of source segregation is very much important. So to communicate at the root level. So social influence that can be done by university. So we have recently started this activity, and we are going to do it in the uh, within next 15 days. A very huge scale IEC activity that will tell the to not to get not to mix their solid waste, especially their municipal solid waste, wet and dry waste, because afterwards we have once it reaches the sink. So then the SDGs are very well known to us. 17 SDGs are 7, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17 that mainly talk about quality, sustainable cities, responsible consumption, climate action, life on land, and partnership. So this is to us because achieving sustainable development goals can reach to our common goal of humanity, and that can not only protect the environment, but it will also, as the name suggests, it will also reach to that ultimate goal of sustainability. So higher United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, how they can achieve this through teaching, through research, through campus operations, through community engagement programs. These goals can be achieved even in these new scheme of National Board of Accreditation, also known as NBA. Institutions programs get accredited criteria schemes. So in that, they have dedicated one criteria, that is 9.11, which talks about this criteria, which can be revealed through these marks that are assigned to that particular criteria. So many things you do while teaching, how it is connected with this sustainable development goal. So goal number 4 itself suggests that quality teaching is one such sustainable development goal. So uh, at institutes you can do so many things which can which that activities that later can map with that sustainable development goal. So that can be possible through these teaching learning methods and these campus operation. So basically, when you adopt green curriculum and environmental literacy, you can achieve this goal. Similarly, when you have this interdisciplinary learning across the department, so nowadays even the Gujarat Technological University, where we are affiliated with, have introduced various from so that they can learn interdisciplinary aspects and the EC student can work on machine learning, and then later on he can do that problems related to, say, for example, water conservation can be managed by the students in the first year. That is called design thinking, where we had in this semester only, we had guided students to prepare small working models which can segregate this solid metallic and wet waste or paper waste from the mixture of the waste. Some students worked on the indoor air quality monitors, which you can see on your mobile phone. So these kind of small projects also can inculcate the inclination towards this environmental protection among the students. Similarly, this NBA outcome-based education is also aligned with SDGs that also we have already discussed. Now, next slide is the environmental engineering as a catalyst. So, wastewater and water management is a very much important subject, and that subject mainly talks about the advanced treatment systems that protects wastewater resources. We all know that fresh water is very much scarce, and most of the water you find uh, near to you are getting contaminated, or the contaminants levels are increasing day by day. So we have to protect the the whole achieving this sustainability. Similarly, the air pollution and renewable energy. So control technologies in the emissions. Recently at our institute, one of the company from and these solar panels output is now connected with the during the daytime, and during the night time the power is utilized for running the lamps across the institute. So these kind of things we can do. We can rely on more on renewable energies. Similarly, the next point is solid waste and circular economy. So waste to resource models minimize landfill dependency, and that way we can that is also very much crucial nowadays. So one of the concept I remember that has been given by IIT, ex-professor of IIT, Chetan Singh Solanki sir. So his concept of energy swaraj is also worth mentioning here. Then research and innovation, the breakthrough in climate science, water management, and renewable energy. You have yes, the students of various universities uh, have given so far that has already saved environment for further degradation. So yeah, these ideas, if adopted, can save the sustainability. This green campus and student engagement programs are also very much important in achieving these things. So energy efficiency, renewable energy, water conservation, water management, diversity. So you might have visited some of these green campuses across India or somewhere else. If you have then you have these concepts are very much eye catching, and you will find this energy efficiency, water conservation concept, new planting. These concepts are very much important for campus sustainabilities, and the campus sustainability indicated using these carbon and water footprints. Nowadays, even green campus auditing programs are also conducted by the auditors. So, wherein these waste generation and energy consumption calculated. Even life cycle assessment programs for certain products are people are doing nowadays in order to have that green label. For that purpose, even institutes can audit and intensive. So all these things are nowadays has been included in the current syllabus of these courses, various courses. Community outreach programs are also done. Even are we are having active NSS center wherein the students in good strength visits various villages for 15-20 problems also of that particular places. Now, digital transformation, industry collaboration, and Indian policies. So, paperless administration, online learning, smart campuses, and IoT-based monitoring drive sustainable operations. So, this is very much important. Similarly, industry academic research accelerate real world impact can be possible. Like new education policy 2020 UGC ICT initiatives, even the programs done under Mission Life and Swachh Bharat Mission. We are sustainability in higher education. So this way we can do so much related to environmental protection. Mission Life leaders and global leaders, uh, which we all know that are mentioned here. Now we will discuss these challenges, roadmap, and call to action. So funding limitations we have many a times. That funding rigidity is sometimes there. So nowadays the new syllabus are evolving, and the MOOC courses are also there, where from where the students the gap of curriculum and sometimes lack of awareness, resistance to change, and infrastructure constraints are also there with HEI. Cannot do the things which they should do. Similarly, integrating the sustainable development goals in all programs. If you conduct sustainability or periodically, the feedbacks are taken. You adopt this green procurement, set carbon neutrality goals, then it will be beneficial to the institutes. You can build industry partnership also. Industry can even guide institutes so that institutes can do the progress in this area. Similarly, the faculties and students are also important. Faculty serve as educators, researchers, mentors, and change agents. Students, innovators also play a crucial role in this particular area, and citizens at that place also. So these outreach programs also help us. Now, the sustainability, smart campuses, carbon neutral universities, circular economy, education, and climate resilient planning. So, thank you for the opportunity. Any questions, if you have, then we can discuss.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for enlightening words. Thanks a lot for your view. We'll have the question in the last session, so I will invite our next speaker.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
So now it's my privilege to introduce our next esteemed speaker, towering figure at intersection of environmental management, law, and policy. We welcome Professor Dr. S. Ganpati Venkat Subramaniam. He is former professor of environmental management and law at Anna University, Chennai, India. With 30 years of teaching experience and 25 years of research, he holds an MBA and law degree. His postdoctoral work span France, Germany, and Finland. He has served as an expert member of the Committee on Sand Mining, Chief Coordinator for National Green Tribunal South Zone, and also he has been a syndicate member for two state university, a board of studies member for six universities. Author of six books, recipient of 15 awards to the landmark VIA projects, including Hyundai and Ford car projects in Chennai. Today, he speaks on sustenance of sustainable development through sustained judiciary in India. Please welcome Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I am unsharing my
Thank you
screen.
so much, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes.
Are you able to? Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for giving a good introduction about me. At the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks for having extended this invitation. The moment when you called that will you be in a position to talk of World Environment Day on such and such topic, then immediately I said it is an honor bestowed on me, and certainly I will be honoring your invitation in spite of my busy schedule also. In fact, today in our department also we were saying, and the afternoon I got another meeting also. So I would like to record my sincere thanks to you, sir, especially the Akone, the consultancy thing, for extending this invitation. The time allotted is only the 7 minutes. I will try to give it within 8 or 10 minutes for that matter.
Okay.
And for the effective environmental management, I am of that opinion that we need the three E's. Of course, the fourth E, which is the emerging one aspect. The first E is the education, and second E is the engineering. The third one is the enforcement, and of course the fourth one, which is in the emerging in the last 15 years, namely the economic regime also. And in fact, my previous speaker has given a good amount of an introduction. Education is playing a good amount of role for the sustenance of the sustainable development. In fact, he has given a very excellent picture that how far it is being carried out in his own organization or in his own institution for that matter, and in a macro level, he has said that how far it is going, it has to be carried out in the future. That one, he has given a good picture for that matter. And in fact, that education, for the purpose of education, I can say that for the purpose of introducing this subject as a compulsory subject in the environmental science and engineering in the academic curriculum, that the Supreme Court has played that role for that matter. In one of the judgments, the Supreme Court only has said that one subject, namely the environmental science and engineering, have to be introduced in the academic curriculum of the undergraduate program, irrespective of what branch a student is studying, whether it is a civil, mechanical, electrical, or electronics, whatever the branch studying, one subject is a compulsory, and this subject is being offered by the University Grants Commission, and irrespective of the state universities or the simple universities, the syllabus is a common. So we would like to thank that for the purpose of enlightening, or for the purpose of appetizing, or for the purpose of what is this one, creating a good amount of an awareness with the younger generation, the Supreme Court has played the role. Now, coming back to that education, and in fact, education is very important. For that purpose only, the government of India as well as the state government is spending a lot of money in training the people at both at the school level, college level, plus that advocates, administrators, adjudicators, and all, by giving some capsular type of the training program in the various pollution control boards and the Department of Environment and Educational Institutions for that matter. But by creating an awareness itself, we cannot be able to solve the problem. We need a second E, namely the engineering. There is no doubt, because of the scientific principles which are ingrained along with the engineering design, we have to develop the technology, and the technology could be able to solve most of the problems. And if whether it is the water treatment or the wastewater treatment, or whether it is, and that the education and the engineering can be able to solve the problem, means no, it cannot be able to solve the problem. We need the third E, namely the enforcement E. What is the enforcement? That is rules and regulations, and these rules and regulations have to be effectively enforced for that matter. Yes. Okay. Now, whether we are having the good amount of the rules, for the rules are the legislations for the purpose of an effective environmental management in India. The first and the foremost one, I can say that and even before the 1972 Stockholm Declaration, India was having so many which are not directly said the word environment, but still it is, in a way, it was controlling the environmental pollution without saying that word for that matter. You take about that Factories Act, you take about the Sarai, take that Bombay and Colaba Coast Act, or whatever the thing, there is always, it is mentioned that public health is being given the most importance without mentioning that word for the environment for that matter. Now, in the year 1972, for the first time, that Stockholm Declaration has taken place at the international level. 154 countries joined together and created some sort of what is this one, knee-jerk action in the environment field at the international level. In the year 1974, that India, for the first time, has enacted one act, namely the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. Then subsequently, in the year 1981, Air Pollution Control Act. In the year 1986, we have got the Environmental Protection Act. In the year 1991, Public Liability Insurance Act. And 2010, we have got the National Green Act. Now, act alone will solve the problem, means again, for the purpose of enacting this act, we need the constitution for that. Whether we are having the constitutional provisions for the purpose of environmental protection, means yes, if you just see the fabric of our constitution, it is, without mentioning that word, it is very much, what we can say, that very much advocating that the environmental, advocating the environmental protection. Now, that, but without mentioning that word. But again, in the year 1976, during the time of emergency, through the Constitution, 42nd Constitutional Amendment, 2 articles have been inserted, namely the 48A, thereby it is the duty of the state to protect the environment, and 51AG, it is giving the duty of the citizens to protect the environment. Then apart from that, we have got several provisions in our constitution for that matter, namely the entry, what is the new schedule in the Article 243G, and that 11th schedule of the constitution, which was inserted in the year 1992. Then we have got the 74th constitutional amendment, namely the Panchayat Raj, which are all given the various subjects have been related, various subjects have been introduced in the through the schedule, and which is in a way related with the environmental protection for that matter. Now, coming back to this one at the international level. At the international level, 1972, the Stockholm Declaration, India was a signatory for that. 1982, the Nairobi Declaration. 1992, namely the Rio Declaration. Okay. Now that Rio Declaration only, it was mentioned about the sustainable development. The definition for the sustainable development, the development which is taking care in fulfilling the needs of the present generation without compromising in fulfilling the needs of the future generation. This is what the definition is being given. And I can very well say that if you could be able to see an average Indian life, it is very much advocating that the sustainable development for that matter. And we were the people who are worshipping the nature. I can quote several type of in the year 1986, Vellore Citizens Welfare Forum case, Justice Kuldeep Singh has very clearly mentioned, as long as this principle of sustainable development is not contrary to the municipal law, it is nothing wrong in infusing this principle into our domestic legal regime for that matter. So even prior to 1992, because of the intervention of the Supreme Court in the year 1986 itself, this principle has been infused into our legal regime for that matter. Then the Supreme Court has played a good amount of the role through the various cases for the systems of the sustainable development. You, for example, you take that in the MC Mehta versus Union of India case, the precautionary principle was mentioned. Then in the second case, the polluter pays principle, that is the Vellore Citizens Forum case. Then you have got this absolute liability. Then you have got the public trust doctrine, namely the Kamalnath versus Union of India case. And all these landmark judgments have given a good amount of foundation for the purpose of the emergence of the environmental policy in the year 2006 for that nature. So, take for example, what is a precaution? When you say the sustainable development, the offshoot of the sustainable development is the precautionary principle, polluter pays principle. What is the precautionary principle? That is very much clearly enshrined in the Supreme Court judgment. Just because you don't have the scientific evidences, you cannot be able to proceed with the project. You have to apply the precautionary principle. By applying this, you can stop the project for that matter, because scientific thing is going on development. Even though our environmental jurisprudence is more of the criminal jurisprudence, but still that you cannot compare with that one. So we got to adopt the precautionary principle for that matter. Then the polluter-based principle in the Vellore Citizens Welfare Forum, it is very clearly mentioned, one who is polluting have to pay for that, and in the form of a compensation in order to try back to the environment, to the original condition for that matter. But it does not confer the right to pollute for that matter also. Based upon that only, that that authority has been created in order to get back the compensation from the tannery industries and the Tamil Nadu state for that matter. Then we can say that absolute liability. We have got that the various liabilities are there, like strict liability, absolute liability, vicarious liability, like that. And India is one among the few countries in the world where we got the absolute liability. That is, and in the case of the strict liability, you got there is, or because somebody has meddled without the knowledge of the proponent, then there are the exceptions given in the form of paying the compensation for that. But in the case of absolute liability, there is no exception at all. I can very proudly say that India is one among the few countries, even the developed countries are following the strict liability, but whereas we are following the absolute liability for that. Then coming to the main then coming to the what is this one? Kamalnath versus Union of India case, the Supreme Court has mentioned that the public trust right. The government is not the owner of the property, it is only the trustee of the property, and it must be used for the purpose it is mentioned for. It should not be used, misused, overused, or abused for that matter. And if anyone uses that, abuses the common property resources, including the government, means that everyone has got the right to prevent that particular activity for that matter. So that the Supreme Court has played a good amount of the role in order to sustain the sustenance, the sustainable development in our country. Apart from that, that if you just because of that already it has crossed the 8 minutes, and if you get just to see that India is very much cooperating at the international body for various conventions and protocols and all. To quote a few of them, I can very well say that India is a partner for the Basel Convention with reference to the hazardous waste management. We all know that even in the law also you've got the hard law and soft law. Whenever India is a signatory for any of the hard law, which includes the conventions or the protocols or the agreements, the covenants means it is giving some sort of an assurance to the international body that after it is being ratified inside the parliament, then they will be enacting a new legislations, or if there is already an existing legislations, they will be modifying in accordance with the conventions or the protocols they have signed for that matter. So in that case, we have to be very proud that even the so-called the developed countries could not have partner for various conventions or the protocols, whereas in India is a very much partner for the various conventions and they have enacted the several legislations after signing, after becoming the signatory for that matter. To quote a few for that matter, Basel Convention, hazardous waste management. Then I can say that the Montreal Convention with reference to the ozone depletion. Then we got the Biodiversity Convention. After signing the convention, we followed the Biodiversity Act. The Montreal Convention, we brought the new rule, namely the ozone depleting substances rule. Then similarly, Basel Conventions, we brought the rule, namely the hazardous waste management. Then Climate Change Convention from the Kyoto Protocol, we got the policy for that matter. So in that way, we have to be very proud that India is very much cooperating with the international bodies partner. Sir, can you continue on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can finish. Yeah, you can continue for 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I will be just. Then we have got what is this one based upon that what is this one the absolute liability or that the like we have got. In fact, we can say that in the Citizens Welfare Forum case, it was clearly mentioned under the Article 21 of the Constitution, namely that right to life includes the right to clean and healthy environment for that matter. Now, though it is not explicitly mentioned in our Constitution under the Article 21, right to life includes the right to a healthy environment, but still because of the innovatively interpreting the constitution of this act of the government of the statutory bodies, which is affecting our right to clean and because of the intervention of the Supreme Court only in the Value Citizens Welfare Forum case from that matter. Now I can say that, but of course, even though in spite of so much amount of the legal regime is there, and we have got a good governance system, but still there are certain flaws are available, flaws are there, even in the environmental impact assessment, which is more on the, what we can say that industry specific, which is not a site specific, and the economic value analysis we are not carried out, then the cost of the waste disposal is not included in the, what is this one, in the cost or in the cost in the consumer's cost. We are not internalizing the externalities for that, and policy EIA we don't have it in India unless in the developed countries, then GDP does not include the economic cost of the environmental damage. Like that, we are having certain flaws are also there. But in the course of our development, we can say that we are in the process of development, and we are plugging slowly the loopholes in the available legal regime, and we will be having that good sustainable development in future. So I think that I have taken more than 12 minutes, sir. With this, I could be able to conclude it. If you give me the time, means I can be able to continue for that matter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can please continue.
Yeah. So once again, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks for giving this opportunity to give the talk. Even though I have not seen the face of none of the face, I have not seen them, but still somehow rather I have been given this opportunity, and I have also utilized this opportunity to some extent. And we will have a constant touch in future also, sir, because I am also involved in several more than 33 EIA projects I have done it, and since I am in the authority also, I could be able to do some sort of service to the people, or service to the people also. Thank you once again, and my best wishes for the World Environment Day to everyone. Thank you so much for the organizers for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your busy time from your busy schedule, and also I am very much thankful for your enlightening words. Actually, the eye opener, you have also enlightened our some knowledge about the environmental law, environmental cases, which you have given very precisely on this event. It's of course need of hour. So everyone has to understand about what is the importance, significance of the environmental laws, and its means of course everyone has to understand. Will have means, act in the
Actually,
same
actually, this
manner.
requires at least the 3 hours of the subject. We have to cover that Water Act, we have to cover the Air Act, and EP Act. Under the EP Act, we have got the several rules, regulations,
Yeah,
and the bylaws are there. If I take, for example, the solid waste management handling rules, biomedical waste management handling rules, hazardous waste management handling rules, coastal regulation zone notification, environmental impact assessment notification, public hearing, and the public consultation
yeah,
notification. Then that environmental, what is it, Public Liability Insurance Act, National Green Tribunal Act, then you have got the several office memorandum law. It is a very vast subject, but of
right,
course it is a very interesting subject. Apart from that, we have got the several cases, several landmark judgments pronounced by the Honorable Supreme Court and the Honorable High Court, including the NGT also. It requires
yeah,
a good amount of time. In future, that this is only an appetizer. It is only to just to create some sort of an interest that how far that law is also playing a good amount of that role, and
yeah,
environmental literacy and law are most important one, along with the education, engineering, and of course the economics for that. So in that way, you are just sensitizing the society by way of organizing such type of a program here at the national level. I would like to record my sincere thanks for extending this invitation, as well as for organizing such type of the programs, thereby creating a good awareness with the younger generations. Thank you so much, Dr. Rathunji.
thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. For in future, we will organize such type of means events online. For the, of course, as you said, we will have some sessions with you, sir. I
Yes,
will contact you in future.
sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much, and my best wishes.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So now moving to the next, I would like to invite Dr. Professor Krupesh Chauhan, sir. Uh, he is professor in Civil Engineering Department at SVNIT Surat, specializing in urban and regional planning with over 32 years of teaching experience, decades of industry experience with Gujarat PWD. He holds an ME in Town and Planning, ME in Water Resources Engineering, and PhD in Civil Engineering. A life member for 15 professional body, including Institute of Town Planners India, ITPI, and IGBC. He has visited 14 countries and practices what he teaches through his own kitchen garden, terrace, farming, and water body preservation efforts. Today, he speaks on community participation and citizen engagement in environmental conservation. Please welcome Professor Krupesh Chauhan. Over to you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yes.
Can you share my
Yes, sir.
PPT?
I will share from my end. No problem. Give me some time. I'm just sharing. Let me know when the PPT is visible to you, sir.
Yes, this one.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Yeah. So आज 5 जून,
Yes, sir.
सबको मेरी ओर से बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, शुभकामना।
जी सर.
और इस प्लेटफॉर्म की वजह से हम मिल पाए हैं।
Right.
तो डॉक्टर अशोक, ए फॉर अशोक एंड ए फॉर एक्शन। अगर हम एक्शन में रहेंगे तो कुछ कर पाएंगे। तो ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम है, उसके लिए मैं और शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ। अकोन सर्विस तो है ही है, क्योंकि अशोक भाई उसी है, और चैतन्य क्लाइमेट रिसर्च इनकॉर्पोरेशन है, इनको भी मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ कि आप लोगों ने हमें मिलाया है। नेक्स्ट।
Yes, sir.
तो यहाँ इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो भी तज्ञ लोग हैं सबका स्वागत है और ये पूरा शेड्यूल बहुत अच्छे से प्लान किया है ताकि कोई भी एरिया मिस ना हो। नेक्स्ट। आज मैं जो बात करूंगा मेरा टॉपिक है कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन एंड सिटीजन एंगेजमेंट। देखिए सबका साथ सबका विकास, एक अकेला कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा और ये प्लेनेट सबका है, तो हम सब मिलके कुछ काम करेंगे। तो ये डे हम क्यों सेलिब्रेट करते हैं कि किसी ने पास्ट में कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन किया है, तो उसको हम रिमाइंडर करते हैं, उसको उसकी अच्छी गुड प्रैक्टिस है वो हमें ध्यान में लेना है। और जो प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो आज के डेट में क्या अलार्म है एनवायरनमेंट के लिए, हमें क्यों ये सब काम करना पड़ता है, और आज के दिन ही हम कुछ एक्शन प्लान बनाएंगे तो हमारा फ्यूचर अच्छा होगा। नेक्स्ट। तो अगर अर्थ जो है, सब लोग बोलते हैं देयर इज नो प्लेनेट, प्लेनेट भी है नहीं, वी हैव ओनली वन प्लेनेट, और हमने जो हिसाब से रिसोर्स का यूटिलाइज किया है इसलिए हमें अभी 2.5 प्लेनेट चाहिए, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। तो हम एनवायरनमेंट को समझना है तो हमें ये 5 एलिमेंट समझना है, और 5 एलिमेंट से मैं आपको सेंसिटाइज करूंगा और फिर हम सब लोग मिलकर क्या कर सकते हैं इसके ऊपर बात करूंगा। नेक्स्ट। तो अर्थ जो है, अभी हमारे पास जो भी अर्थ है इसमें इंडस्ट्री बढ़ी, इंडस्ट्री बढ़ने से अर्बनाइजेशन बढ़ा, अर्बनाइजेशन बढ़ने से व्हीकल बढ़ा, और व्हीकल ये सब करने में हमने पहले हमें प्लेनेट मिली थी पूरी ग्रीन कवर वाली, आज राउंड अबाउट 30% ग्रीन कवर बचा है और हमारी जो लैंडफिल साइट भी बढ़ रही है। तो हमने अर्थ को समझना पड़ेगा, अगर अर्थ ने हमें समझ लिया तो हमारा काफी कुछ अच्छा काम हो सकता है। नेक्स्ट। फिर हमारी जो रिवर है, रिवर ताप्ती की हम बात करें तो हमें अच्छी रिवर मिली थी, ए ग्रेड की रिवर मिली थी, आज वो रिवर ई ग्रेड की हो गई। अगर रिवर हमें अच्छी करनी है तो कम्युनिकेशन मीन्स कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन हमें चाहिए, और सेकंड सिटीजन का भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट चाहिए। तो ये ब्लू इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, और हमारी जो सूरत और नवसारी के बीच में मिंडोला रिवर है, तो हमारी जो बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है उनका ड्रेनेज उसमें आता है, तो आज वो मिंडोला रिवर नहीं रही है, वो एक खाड़ी हो गई है। सूरत रिवर ताप्ती जो है जल कुंभी की वजह से हमारा पानी का ट्रीटमेंट कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, तो हम सब मिलके, हमारी तापी नदी है, हमारी मिंडोला रिवर है, उसको कैसे काम करना है। नेक्स्ट। फिर अग्नि, तो ये जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग टर्म है, फिर हमारा जो सिटी लेवल पे है कि हीट आइलैंड है और हमारी छोटी छोटी इंडस्ट्री है वहां हॉटस्पॉट हो गया है, तो इसमें सबको मिलके काम करना पड़ेगा। नेक्स्ट। और एयर पोल्यूशन, एयर पोल्यूशन का सबसे ज्यादा जो वजह है वो है इंडस्ट्री जो हमें दिखता है, और फिर व्हीकल पॉपुलेशन, ये दोनों का ज्यादा से ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन है। और हमारी जो आज की लाइफस्टाइल है उसमें एसी का यूज बढ़ रहा है, और एसी का यूज बढ़ने से अभी 3 हादसे बैक टू बैक हो गए। एक है कि एसी ब्लास्ट हुआ, आईएएस ऑफिसर हो गए, और 2 दिन पहले दिल्ली में आग लगी, वो भी एसी की वजह से लगी। सिंगापुर में भी आग लगी, तो नीचे वाले फ्लोर की एसी की हवा की वजह से ऊपर भी आग लगी। तो एयर पोल्यूशन भी हमें समझना पड़ेगा। नेक्स्ट। और आकाश तत्व, आकाश में अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं ऑटो रिक्शा वाले ने केरोसिन क्यों यूज किया, बट हम आकाश की बात करें, अभी जो फ्लाइट, जो हमारा एयर ट्रैफिक है इतना बढ़ गया, इतना बढ़ गया, और उसके लिए सब लोग साइलेंट है, और उसकी वजह से हमारे ग्रीन हाउस गैस जो है उसका भी प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। नेक्स्ट। और इसमें एज ए एसविनआईटी मेरा जो दायित्व है, मैं उन्नत भारत अभियान में काम कर रहा हूँ, और मेरे पास लाइफ मिशन का भी मैं कोऑर्डिनेटर हूँ। तो हम मिलके सब क्या कर पाएंगे, इसके लिए सबसे पहले एसविनआईटी ने नेक्स्ट, ये हमारा रिकॉग्नाइजेशन जो है, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हाउसिंग ने एसविनआईटी को काम दिया है कि सेंटर ऑफ अर्बन प्लानिंग फॉर कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, तो सबकी कैपेसिटी बढ़ानी पड़ेगी, और हम कैपेसिटी बढ़ेगी तभी कुछ काम हो पाएगा। नेक्स्ट। तो ये जो सारे सस्टेनेबल गोल है, सबका गोल का जो पैर है, मिस दो का कॉम्बिनेशन है, और उसका ऊपर आप देखेंगे तो हर पैर के ऊपर ज्यादातर बिल्डिंग्स है। तो ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी का जो हमें गोल अचीव करना है, तो बिल्डिंग के माध्यम से हमें इसका आंसर मिल सकता है। नेक्स्ट। तो हमें क्या करना है कि हमारी बिल्डिंग ऐसी बननी चाहिए कि ताकि वो पैसिव प्लानिंग हो, बिल्डिंग के एनर्जी का कंजम्पशन कम हो। और ये दोनों फोटोग्राफ्स है जो अभी लास्ट 15 दिन में जो फायर की वजह एसी की थी, तो हमारे बिल्डिंग में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, हमने कुछ प्रॉपर प्लानिंग नहीं किया है, तो सब मिलके हम इसमें कुछ काम कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट, मिनिस्टर ने बोला है कि भाई हमें सारे जो वाटर बॉडीज है, ग्रीन और ब्लू इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, तो एसवी 90 ने अभी गोपी तालाब पे हम काम कर रहे हैं कि ऐसे गोपी तालाब चाहिए हमें, या अपने मीन्स कंक्रीट वाला टैंक चाहिए, या फिर हमें एक और तालाब है सूरत में जो अभी नेचर क्लब उसको मेंटेन कर रही है, अवियर है, तो जी फॉर गोपी और जी फॉर गवियर। तो एक साइंटिफिक स्टडी होना चाहिए और एक अच्छा प्राकृतिक हमें वाटर बॉडी को मैनेज करना है। नेक्स्ट, तो ये टाइमलाइन है हमने कैसे काम किया है, और हमारा जो मेन काम है कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग। इसके बाद नेक्स्ट, अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि भाई टेम्परेचर वेरिएशन कितना है, तो हम लोगों को जानकारी मिलेगी कि जो तालाब है वो नेचुरल एसी है, और जो हमारे गार्डन है वो नेचुरल लंग्स है, तो सब मिलके हम काम कर पाए, इसके लिए उन्नत भारत अभियान। नेक्स्ट, तो अभी हमने एसवी 90 में सब अलमनाई मिलके एक आइडेंटिफाई किया है कि नेटिव ग्रीन प्लांट जो है, जो नेचर सेकंड ईयर सॉल to control all of it, not only benzene, of the total environment journal here, and investing aerosol and ozone production in Beijing, China. We have done comprehensive studies, not today, but since Olympiad in 2013 or 14 something. So now they have 10 years system, and they have taken benefit of. They are monitoring them, and they are making action plans accordingly. That's why they have visibly controlled the air pollution as compared to what they were having in 2013 and 14. So why we cannot learn it from the China? Good things we can learn from anyone. So now you see here that they have only keep that there only. So you see here how much alkanes are contributing 54 to 64% of total VOCs. So these are the low volatile compounds or lower hydrocarbons which contribute more to the ozone as well as the secondary or aerosol. They have more potential to form them. So this just I want to flag that until unless we monitor the VOCs and make action plans, modify our source apportionment models, we cannot catch them, we cannot control them, we cannot find even how much they are contributing. So, and if we are not monitoring, we cannot control. But if we don't know what is there, then how we will make the plan control? Next, please. Now see how the other countries are working. We are monitoring only we are having the monitoring network, national monitoring network we have in India. It is not that we don't, but we are monitoring basic parameters. We don't have any dedicated network like US. They have one national general pollutants monitoring network, but simultaneously they also have this. Please highlight this, make it bigger.
1 minute.
They have PAMS monitoring network. PAMS monitoring, they are monitoring the VOCs, which generate ozone. So they have about 45 sites since 2020, and they are monitoring at all throughout USA, these VOCs. They are monitoring about 56 views, you see here. And then they have similar plan for measuring the air toxic trends. And they are monitoring the air toxics in separate program, to which are directly linked with health hazard. So we are lagging far, far behind with these two monitoring network. So my request is there, and my suggestion is there that we should go with some limited monitoring network for these two. One is the similar to the PAMS, is UC network, and then second air toxics network for seeing the toxic pollutants and their health implications. These VOCs not only have impact on the environment, they are also directly hazardous to human health. They are carcinogenic, they are tumorigenic, and why we are not bothered? Because they are not visible. We don't know how much their concentration is present in the industrial area or other residential area, and we think only the particulate matter because these are visible. I tell you, if you will monitor all these 60, 65 VOCs, they will leave behind PM 2.5 also in concentration. And they are more toxic also than the PM 2.5 itself. I'm not saying that PM 2.5 is not hazardous. It is also hazardous. But why we are not thinking on that line also? If we want to control air pollution in totality. So now way forward, and there is no depth of the money. I tell you, the government has sanctioned in NCAP, National Clean Air Plan, 11,211 crore of rupees. They have spent only 68%. They are unable to spend, you can see here, 32% they are not able to spend. Why they are not investing in such innovative areas, which I am telling? They have invested only 1% in outreach, in capacity building, and monitoring. So all these together constitute only 4%. So I think this percentage needs to be increased. Someone was talking today me from Canada. When I put this advertisement or this program in the group, he is telling, what is the use of this lecturing? We are only lecturing on the Environment Day. Then I told him that advocacy, awareness, taking action plan are all good on our part to raise awareness continuously. It is not one time action. You need continuous awareness what Ashok is doing. You need continuous actions also. So I am seeing, I have major workshop on this aspect only in Gandhinagar, where 280 persons have joined. I'm telling you, a full day workshop. Then I had similar workshop in Karnataka, Bengaluru, in Telangana, Hyderabad, in Manesar, Haryana, and I have not seen much change. Very frankly, I am telling you. And just next page. And I'm just not talking. I am not giving only the lecture. After retirement, I have developed these two methodologies. How to monitor the usage. And both the method I have developed, 5182 part 27, it's passive sampling of POCs. You don't require any equipment for sampling. Just natural diffusion, you can collect the sample. And part 28 is pump the sample. So you can collect sample with the pump. So that you can collect a short time sample also. Say like 1 hour, 2 hour, and you can get the results. So you can get diagonal variations. And in the passive sampling, you can get 24-hour sampling average, or you can get 1 week average, or you can get 2-week average. So, and this is not a difficult task nowadays. Because thermal desorption are there, green chemistry, I have applied green chemistry, no solvent is used, neither in the sampling nor in the analysis. Thermal desorption, they are the absorption tube are thermally dissolved, pass into GC and confirmed by the mass spectrometry. And you get all 65, 70 VOCs in one run only. And this is very sensitive technique. You can find even PPB level. Some PPB level you can also to it. Next, please. You can see here, I am collecting sample at my rooftop and at some industrial site, and this is the laboratory where these has been analyzed. You can see the chromatographs. And this is toluene. Highest is the toluene. This is ethyl acetate. Then this is benzene. So ethyl benzene. You can see so many compounds here. And if you add them, they will surpass the PM2.5 also. So I'm telling you. And this is residential. I'm showing you only the residential chromatogram. If you see the traffic, if you see the petrol pump, if you see the, it will be astonishing. Next, please. These are other pictures where I have conducted these workshops, I have conducted training programs. You can see the in between this very huge hall, member secretary of Gujarat Pollution Control Board is there. Then I conducted here in Delhi also, here. And you can see this first workshop I had in 2002 only. So I developed these, and then I am trying to make aware many people, but still a lot of awareness is required in this area particularly. Next, please. So thank you very much. I am not taking much time. I have a lot to say, but time restriction is there. So I thank everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you for being here for enlightening us on VOC, secondary air pollutant. Thanks a lot, sir. So now I invite our next speaker, Dr. Seema Nihalani. She's working at Geo Design and Research Private Limited, also serve as a professor of practice at PP Savani University. Dr. Nihalani is a GPCB approved environmental engineer and Schedule 2 auditor. Also, he is approved NABET expert and also an ABL assessor for ISO 1725. She has published over 25 publications related to ESG, BRSR, GHG verification, environmental compliances. Today, she will speak on ESG reporting in India from compliance to citizen empowerment for a sustainable future. Please welcome Dr. Seema Hilani. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Ashok. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes. Yeah, of course. You are pretty audible.
Thank you, Dr. Ashok, for this introduction, wonderful introduction, and giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. Uh, uh, Looking to our theme, I'm going to throw some light on ESG reporting, how it is different when we are talking of Indian scenario and corporate context. So the contents of my presentation shall be like this: sustainability and ESG. What is the difference of correlation between ESG and sustainability? When we talk of ESG, the Indian framework, that is BRSR, and how it is changing with respect to time. So as we all know, the speakers ahead of me very beautifully put up the definition of sustainability. Once again, it is meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Okay, so the triple bottom line we have heard of, three terms are important: people, planet, and product. In the bottom graph, I've shown how it has moved ahead from Stockholm 1972 to Brundtland Report, Rio Report, and SDGs. Now coming to ESG, as we understand, the definition of ESG says it is nothing but a framework which tells us how a corporate or an organization is going to manage its environmental responsibilities, its social impacts, and government practices. Now, if we see how the ESG scenario has changed over the years, it started with 1980, when it was the Human Development Index. The triple bottom line, which I said, was introduced in the year 1999. GRI, which is one of the global platform or global framework, was introduced in the year 2000. The principles came in 2006. The climate disclosure in 2007. SESB, which is one of the important disclosures looking to investors, came in the year 2011. 2013 was integrated report, and TCFD in 2015, and value reporting in the year 2021. Now, looking to what is the correlation or difference between sustainability and ESG. Sustainability, as I said, sustainability as a concept, if you all know, can be applied
to everything like business, products, services. And ESG is nothing but it is a roadmap or an operating system which can lead us to sustainability. Okay, so if we see in detail, when I talk of sustainability, our focus is long term. Whereas in case of ESG, it is something which is a measurable performance. So sustainability is holistic principles, whereas in case of ESG, we are talking of specific data-driven indicators. In case of sustainability, the stakeholder, it involves a broader stakeholders, whereas ESG is very specific to investors, regulators, and analysts. Okay, so when I say sustainability, we are talking of entire planet or entire community as a whole. Whereas in case of ESG, we are measuring the performance of E, S, and G on the planet. So if I have to give a final takeaway, a strong governance can help us to ensure environment and social commitments translate into measurable outcomes, and we can see actually ESG happening on the ground. Now, to begin with, if I want to relate ESG with various frameworks, I've shown for E the various ISOs so which are existing, with S, that is social, what are the ISOs which are existing, and G with various ISOs which are company currently existing. Okay, now when we talk of ESG, ESG basically is reported with reference to different frameworks and standards and ratings. So, what is the basic difference when I say the word frameworks, standards, and ratings? Frameworks, when I say frameworks are nothing but they're guiding, general guiding principles which help us how to do sustainability or ESG reporting. And when I say standards, standards are very specific formats like our BRSR report or GRI. One important thing is GRI actually started as a framework and slowly from in the year 2016 it has migrated to a standard. So the current GRI document what we are using is a standard. And similarly, when I say ratings are nothing but they are agencies which give us rankings. So MSI, that is Morgan Stanley, SNB, EcoVadis, these are all rating agencies which give us our performance based on the ESG indicators. Okay, now talking of various ESG regulations which are currently in practice, I've just mentioned a few. GRI is one of the most global and widely accepted framework. If we go and see the statistics, currently about 80% of the industries are reporting based on this framework, but it is a voluntary framework and not a mandatory framework. When it comes to India, as I said, in India, the ESG framework or standard what we are using is known as BRSR, which is Business Sustainability, Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting. It is exclusively for Indian companies and it is currently regulated by SEBI and MCM. And as per the SEBI notifications, the top 1,000 listed companies or industries are required to submit their BRSR report after every financial year. So that is the setup for Indian scenario. Now, when it comes to other international frameworks, ISSB is one of the new frameworks, which is nothing but a merger of SSB and TCFD. So if you see, I've mentioned a few countries over here where currently ISSB has been become mandatory. So UK, Canada, Japan, Brazil, and Singapore. Similarly, when I'm talking of ERSR, from the year 25-26, European Union ESRS has also become mandatory. So this is how different frameworks are placed with reference to different countries. Now, coming to Indian scenario, when I said BRSR, what is BRSR? As I said, SEBI in Indian context, SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, is regulating it, and as per that directive, top 1,000 companies, Indian listed companies, are required to do the reporting as per BRSR. And the birth or the framework of BRSR is coming from this NGRBC. We'll see those 9 principles based on which the reporting framework is made up. And what it provides is it gives us quantitative standardized disclosure. That means a proper questionnaire for each principle has been drafted, and the industry or the company has to reply to those principles or those questions. Now, the outcome of this is it empowers the investors and other stakeholders to have a non-financial as well as other environment, social governance related data, which can help them in better decision making. Okay, so as I said, from the year 22-23, top 1,000 listed companies were required to do the filling. Now, BRSR is further having one extension, which is BRSR code. That means after materiality assessment, the significant topics are declared as core. Now for this, the years which I have mentioned is for BRSR core. So BRSR core is nothing but the KPIs for which assurance will be needed. So if you see for the year 23-24, top 150 listed companies are supposed to give their BRSR code. What I have mentioned here is they have to do their BRSR reporting. But in addition to that BRSR reporting, BRSR core is nothing but the 15 KPIs which they have to report, and also they have to give assurance. Okay, so actually this is how BRSR has migrated or coming in our country. So first it was introduced in the year 2008. The voluntary guidelines were given in the year 2009. Okay, before BRSR, we were calling it BRR, that is business responsibility reporting. Again, it was voluntary and not mandatory. CSR, as we all know, was introduced in the year 2014, where 2% of average profit is to be shown towards social contribution. In 2016, we got green bond guidelines. Integrated reporting came in the year 2017. And this is the year 2021, where BRRs moved into BRSR. And the current format, what we are seeing, was first time introduced in the year 2020. So now coming to, this is how basically a BRSR report or format is made. It has three sections. Section 1A is the general disclosures, which is nothing but the information about the industry. Section B is management and process disclosures. And section C is principle-wise disclosures. Again, in section C, like for all the 9 principles, there are few essential questions which are compulsory, which everyone has to answer, and there are few that are willing to answer that only. Okay, so now if any industry or any organization is willing to go in for their ESG reporting, these are the 6 steps which I have mentioned how they can do. The first is gap assessment and benchmarking. That means they can use their peers or any framework to understand where the gap is or have their benchmarking done. Once that is done, second step is stakeholder engagement and materiality assessment. Here the industries or the consultants, they engage with the stakeholders and they carry out the materiality assessment. That means out of various topics which have impact on them, which are the significant ones. Once the materiality assessment is done, ESG policy and design, strategy design is done. After that, data collection will be done. Once data collection is done, draft report is prepared, and the people or the staff who are working on them, training is done, and finally the report will be published after third party insurance. So this is 1 year cycle. What I said, BRSR is mandated, like the industries have to submit their report every year. So this is how the reporting work is being. So in a nutshell, if I want to summarize, these are the benefits. Like when it comes to companies or economy, they have access to good capital, risk management can be done, regulatory compliance will be taken off, operational efficiency improves, the brand and reputation will be improved, employee engagement is better. And when it comes to citizens, the citizens have better choices, they have value aligned investments, they can have accountability for local impact, safer job selection, legal and negotiation power. So these are the various benefits which are being associated to ESG reporting. That is why I started with the topic like ESG is not just a compliance, but it is going to give powers to citizens and corporates. So in the final slide, if I want to summarize, I should say the industries should start their path from the ISOs. This is the journey which I said how they do their ESG reporting and one their ESG certification. So this is how actually the entire pathway goes in for ESG. That should be all from my side.
Thank you very much, madam, for your words and for your time on from your busy schedule on this Day. Now I invite our next speaker, Dr. Devang Shah. He is currently working at ETRL Vadodara, Gujarat, and Dr. Shah has he holds BEME in civil engineering from Maharaja Sayaji Rao University, Vadodara, and also with over a decade of teaching experience as an assistant professor at Parul University. He has guided BTech, MTech, PhD students. He also brings industry experience from being lead for sustainable sanitation. Please welcome Dr. Devang Shah. Over to you, sir. Your screen is visible, sir. Your voice is not coming, sir.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
forgot to unmute.
No.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Today I am going to present a topic which seems to be a very simple, but it seems very important. Sir, in India, you must be knowing only maximum 40% of the sewage generated is getting treated because of lack of the infrastructure. And we are going to become water scarce by 2050, as per Falcon Mark Water Stress Indicator. This is the scenario. The bigger circle is sewage produced, and the inside circle is only the capacity to treat it. So we lack infrastructure to treat the sewage. In the atmosphere, every day carbon dioxide concentration is increasing. It has reached more than 425 ppm as of now. We have experienced the ill side effect of the industrial revolution. What topic I am going to present today is little bit pointing towards a blunder in the philosophy of sewage treatment. And as a proof, I am presenting the case of industrial revolution that humans can do blunders. While industrial revolution was happening, we were believing we are making the life more comfortable. We are making the life more enjoyable. But at the end of problems like ozone layer depletion, acid rain, and global warming has popped up, and we all were worried. So, at that time, these chimneys were believed to be the symbol of prosperity. Now we all are trying to close them. So we are again making a big blunder. See, this is the simple carbon cycle. Every one of us, have studied in our school or college time. Please note this portion. The excrement by human or animals is going back to soil. And because we are getting nutrients from the soil, the green vegetation gives us the energy, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen that we eat. And that must go back to soil. If we are not doing that, we are breaking the carbon cycle. So in ancient times, not even ancient, even up to 16th century in London, there was honey wagon, there was privies, there was a vessel fitted at the bottom of the privy, which was every day early morning. The workers come, empty it in the honey wagon, and take to the nearby farms. So then industrialization happened and urbanization of the London happened, and there was multi-story apartment. That was the time of the invention of the concrete, cement and concrete by Joseph Asphodin, 1824. So that revolution has changed the lifestyle. Single story building is replaced by apartments. And there it was not feasible to suspend the pan of the privy in the tenants living below your floor. So then septic tanks have been introduced, and Dr. John Snow, in his very famous experiment of finding out the cholera cases and root cause of the cholera, have done the exercise, marked the cholera cases, and identified the well contaminated by the septic tank. So sewer system started after the septic tank instead of honey wagon. And then we have created a very big problem. We have diluted the excreta and created a very huge mass, huge volume to handle. And at that time, that honey wagon system was not able to take load of the liquid excrement, so its system changed to septic tank and later to sewers. At that time, a wise man named Edwin Chadwick has advised rain to the river and sewage to the soil. And there was a big debate. But the other thought of the school won the battle, and only majority of the students part. Only has prevailed. And we missed this wisdom and we started sewage treatment and flowing the sewage in the nalas and stormwater networks. So you must be surprised. The Thames River was so severely polluted at that time because of the sewage flow that such cartoons have been published in their newspapers. You can see 1858. See, they themselves have published the cartoon, Pollution of the River Thames. And then BOD has been introduced at that time. That is the reason we are doing BOD at 20 degrees centigrade at 5 days. Because within 5 days, any sewage disposed in the London goes to sea. And they are only interested to know what is the degradation of the organic matter within this period. So BOD started there and then followed everywhere. So this sewage treatment is introduced then after. And what is the aerobic process end products? You take organic matter, you put microorganism, you give air by artificial energy means electricity, and you produce CO2, H2O, and Na3 and PO4. So carbon dioxide is the end product. The carbon which was supposed to go to soil has been converted to carbon dioxide and it is contributing to the atmospheric pollution. This is very simple fact. I don't know why everybody is missing to understand it. A 50 MLD plant will have 120 tons of CO2 emission every day. And we spend 3,50,000 worth of power per year per MLD. What we are getting in return? CO2. No value addition. So if you see the worldwide, 132 million metric tons of CO2 per year is being produced by the wastewater treatment plants. It is not a small amount. And we are not even taking or we are extracting the nutrients until the NGT order in nitrogen and phosphorus. So the sewage is full of NPK and carbon. Now you must be knowing our soils are depleting of organic carbon. Soil organic carbon is depleting like anything. Most of the arable soil in the world is having carbon less than 1%, which is supposed to be between 3% to 7%. So can we reverse this cycle? See, treated water is disposed where? In the nalas. Then what is the point of treating the sewage? If you are putting back in such a water, what is the point of treating the sewage? So we must change this thought. Say 380 million metric cube of wastewater is produced annually across the world. And as per this paper, it is 5 times the volume of water passing through Niagara Falls annually. And this is the paper which gives the revenue worth of the nutrients. 13.6 billion, 9 billion for the recovery of nitrogen, 2.3 billion from phosphorus, and 2.3 billion from potassium. So friends, we cannot afford to understand sewage as a waste material. We must consider it as a resource. Otherwise, what we are doing now is like we are going to gym in car and burn calories on treadmill. अरे भाई तो फिर walk करो ना सीधा direct. So same way we should utilize the sewage, and in that some development is there. Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation has reinvent toilet challenge they have introduced, and waterless toilets have been also found. But overnight, over the world, we cannot change the toilets waterless. So we must find a solution for the sewage generated, and that is algal bacterial symbiosis. Bacteria requires oxygen and they produce CO2, which is required by algae, and they produce O2. And if we control this cycle in the sewage, win-win situation will be created, because algae is having lot of advantages, and you can convert number of products from algae. So what carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus was going in waste, we can convert starting from agriculture, fertilizer to cosmetics. So this is the path we should take. There is a lot of development in this regard. People have done a lot of experiment, and such buildings have also been constructed which are running on the electricity produced by biogas generated from algae digestion, which is produced by wastewater of that building in Germany. So I hope we will get more and more breakthrough. And in this regard, if you have any question, if you have any suggestion, please contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your time, eye-opening on the sewage treatment. Thanks a lot. Now I will invite our next speaker, Dr. Rupali Goyal, an assistant professor in civil engineering department at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Institute of Technology, Vasant. With over 25 years of teaching experience, Dr. Goyal holds PhD in civil engineering alongside her BE and ME in civil environmental engineering from MS University, Baroda. Her core research focus on drinking water and water quality modeling, critical area for surrounding communities. As a scholar, she has published 27 research papers in reputed journals. Beyond research, she is an active environmental auditor at STEM Outreach Advocate and a life member of various professional bodies. Today, she will share her expertise on topic the role of artificial intelligence and digital technologies in environmental management. Please welcome Dr. Rupali Goel. Over to you, madam. Thank you. Your voice is not coming, sir, madam. Yeah, your screen is visible. Voice is not coming. You are not audible. No, not yet. Your voice is not coming because you cannot. You can unmute yourself.
Was it audible now?
Yeah, yeah. Now audible. Reshare your presentation. I think it has been unshared.
Is it coming? I think.
Uh,
Is
uh,
it visible?
Not me. Any other person can see the
Yes,
presentation.
madam is visible and voice is clear.
Okay, great, great.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me on this World Environment Day to share my thoughts. And today I'm going to talk about application of artificial intelligence and digital technologies for environmental management and how it has changed our perspective for a faster, smarter environmental management. So, this is the outline of my presentation. Why do we need smart environmental management? What is artificial intelligence and which are the key digital technologies that can support us in effective environmental protection, AI applications, emerging technologies, and future trends related to smart environmental management, its benefits, challenges, and concerns also. And as an engineer and researcher, what are our roles in protection of environment using all these technologies? So we'll start with this. Why do we need smart environmental management? As we all are knowing that we are facing many environmental challenges, right? From climate change, where various types of pollution, water scarcity, biodiversity losses, deforestation, etc. So earlier we used to have the traditional environmental management, and I can say that that environmental management it is a kind of reactive. The meaning is that manually we were collecting the data, periodic sampling we are doing at some for the water, wastewater and air pollution. But if we are having certain concerns or we are having certain damage in our environment, then after we are responding. So that is called as reactive management. But in today's changing environmental conditions, so many problems we are facing. This reactive type of environmental management is not at all desirable or feasible. So we must switch over to AI-driven environmental management. So we have to move from our reactive management to predictive and preventive management. So that is a paradigm shift that we need in managing environment. And that is only possible with the help of these AI and digital technologies, in which we are doing real-time monitoring, and with the data from that real-time monitoring, we can apply to the predictive analysis model. And based on that, we can have the decision making and early warning system. So that will help us in preventive environmental management. So here, I will show you few technologies which we can utilize. So there is a role of artificial intelligence. So what is AI? Basically, it is computer system which is capable of learning from data. So data is very essential. And for too many years, we are having various data already available with you, with us.
So in this digital data collection on UAV, we can utilize our AI, machine learning, deep learning for processing this data. And once we process the data, that will be useful for the predictive model. So in well in advance, we can know what will be the probable situation related to our climate variation, disaster, air and water pollution, waste management, biodiversity, how the biodiversity we are losing in particular area. So all this we can be able to do in a smarter way, only use of the AI and digital technologies. So few digital technologies we will just discuss. And first and important is IoT. So basically IoT connects the smart sensors and devices to internet and enable the continuous monitoring. Or traditional methods, it is the periodic sampling. So in that periodic sampling, we will not be, if we are collecting the sample in morning for air or for noise or for our water wastewater analysis, but something happens after that. So continuous monitoring of all our pollution parameter, it is very essential. And here there is the role of IoT. So continuous air quality monitoring, water quality monitoring, noise pollution, smart irrigation, industrial emissions, all we can monitor with the help of this IoT. So we can have the continuous flow of our data, and that is the essential requirement for the predictive model. Continuous intelligence system. And if we are having continuous flow of data, then we can use different technologies like GIS, that is Geographic Information System, and remote sensing. So basically, remote sensing that provide us data without touching it with the help of satellites, then aerial aircraft, UAV that is drone. So there are multiple applications, not in the field of environmental management, but all the field we can utilize this RS and GIS. So this GIS is a very powerful framework that captures, manage, and analyze and visualize the special data. And in all the section of our environmental management, we can have the applications right from air quality monitoring, water quality, forest monitor. We can check the amount of deforestation, so we can detect the deforestation in which area we can use, kahan pe industrial area बढ़ रहा है, where we are having more people, then climate variations, disaster risk reduction, any disaster. Nowadays, we are having all the early warning system and continuous tracking of all these disasters that we can do. And waste management and pollution detection, all we can do with the help of the data that we are collecting from this remote sensing and implement into GIS and analysis and predictive models. So this is a very powerful tool that we can apply instead of satellite. Also, we can utilize these drones and UAVs. So all this monitoring ecosystem, water resource, everything that we can monitor with the help of this remote sensing data. So that we have to store at particular place, and then it has to be converted into predictive models. So for that, GIS must be powered by cloud and big data. So for that, data storage and real-time access to this data is very essential. So it is transferred to the cloud, and big data analytics convert this large amount of data into meaningful insights for the decision making. So whatever data we are having, proper storage, use of those data for all these major application in the field of environmental management, which I talked earlier, we need to have some storage space, and that is in the form of cloud and big data. So that is the role that this cloud and big data is playing in our environmental management. So these are the few AI applications in environmental management. Right from air quality management, AI-based AQI forecasting system are being used in major cities worldwide. They are using it. Then for water resource management, uh, uh, water distribution network, leak detection, then quality of water that can we can know, and that is where we can reduce the water losses and maintain the quality of water. And in waste management, we can have the smart bins. So this smart bins, it will automate the waste segregation, optimize the collection route, and this equipped with the sensors can notify the collection and authorities when it is full. As well as this climate change modeling, that is the major application where we can apply for flood prediction, drought, etc. Then biodiversity conservation. This conservation agencies increasing the use of AI for ecological monitoring. So they completely monitor this biodiversity. Then for agriculture also, we can reduce the use of fertilizers, pesticides, water conservation, so we can conserve our water resource as well as our soil resource. And for disaster management, many applications of all the forecasting of flood, landslide, cyclone, etc., and early warning system also we can develop. So apart from that RSGIS, there are few emerging technologies also and future trends that can be applied for our environmental management. That is called as digital twins. So it is nothing but virtual replica dashboard, and you can have the simulation of all the scenarios before the real world changes. And also this AI powered smart cities. So they can also prove very important in environmental management. You can have the smart traffic management. So the signal operation in which we can save the fuel time of so many people, smart parking system, energy efficient building. So we can go for the energy efficiency, smart environmental monitoring to track the pollution of all the different types of environmental pollution, intelligent waste system. So all this we can get with the help of this technology. So our main purpose is to collect the data. We are having RS, then data analysis, GIS kind of software, AI, ML processing, better decision. So major thing is that we are striving for the better decisions. So decision support system, it will support system. So there are many benefits environmental, economic cost reduction, improve efficiency, developing the smart city in which we are having all this twin type of system with the AI, ML, etc. We can have the sustainable development pillars also we can satisfy. But not only advantages, there are many challenges and concerns if we have to use all this. So main challenges are the data quality. And initial cost is really very high because investment in sensors, cloud, and AI infrastructure is required. And also unequal access to advanced technologies. All are not having that much availability of all these technologies. And very important concern from the environmental point of view is high energy consumption because this AI it needs supercomputers and continuous server data that is fetching the details. And for that, it needs a very high amount of energy. And once we are talking about environmental protection, such a huge energy consumption is a major concern. So responsible use of AI it is very important for the environmental management as well as ethical issues related to data privacy, transparency, accountability, and also there is a skill gap. Whoever working in the field of environment, they should have data analytics skills, GIS expertise, AI literacy. So everyone should go for some advancement or whatever technologies, new technologies that they can use for environmental management. So for that digital competency, they have to develop. And for that, the mindset is very important, whether they want to go for it or not. So it is very essential that we should work. There is engineers and researchers. So we should go for the research in such a way that we develop the sustainable technologies to create the solutions that protect the environment. And we have to integrate the AI and digital technologies into environmental system and promote the data-driven decision making. So AI will not replace environmental engineers only because they have to use their mind. What to do with data? What are the prediction models that are telling? And with the help of that, they have to build the resilient infrastructure and support the climate adaptation technology. So whatever next generation of environmental engineers, they will not only design treatment, water treatment plants or wastewater treatment plants or infrastructure, but they have to also manage the intelligent environmental system powered by AI. And for that, they have to install sensors, IoT devices, data intelligence in the form of cloud computing and big data analysis, smart decisions. They have to take the informed and faster and smart decisions related to environment for efficient resource and healthier future for all. So in short, we can say that AI plus IoT plus GIS that gives you smarter and sustainable environment. So ultimately, I would like to conclude that AI and digital technologies, they are no longer optional tools. They are very essential in today's integrated AI, IoT, GIS, remote sensing, big data, and digital twins. They are all essential for the environmental management. and we can have the informed decision, better informed decision that is smarter, faster, and more sustainable. And as engineers, researchers, and academicians, we have both the opportunity because everything is available nowadays. No one can tell that I cannot learn. Everyone can learn. So we are having opportunity. 100% we are having opportunity, but at the same time, we should have the responsibility because responsible use of AI is very essential to harness all these technologies for environmental protection and sustainable development. So let us use all this technology not merely for innovation, but for the preservation of our planet. And let us innovate today to preserve our tomorrow. So AI is not at all replacing environmental engineers, but it is just helping in enhancing decision making through use of all this data analysis and predictive models. So this year's World Environment Day theme is inspired by nature for climate and for our future. Yeah? So nature, that is, nature has a quality of learning, adapting, and thriving. So similarly, we have to inspire by nature, powered by intelligence. So use all this technology for innovation, optimization, and transformation, and dedicated to sustainability, to protect our environment, to restore our environment, and for the sustainable development. So we have to think smart, we have to learn smart, and we have to manage our environment smartly. So thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, madam. Thanks for your time for this enlightening session on AI and technology for environmental management. Thanks a lot. Now I invite our next speaker, Dr. S.D. Tiwari. Give me a moment.
Thank you, sir, Dr. Ashok Rathod Singh.
Yeah.
Myself, Dr. S.D. Tiwari. I am senior consultant working in Uttarakhand Rural Road Development Agency, PMJSF project, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Last 7 years in total, I have 30 years experience. Out of this, 5 years teaching experience and 25 years experience of the consultancy services, research and development, and teaching professions also. So I would like to start. My topic is the environment. Just wait, please. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, it is visible, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it's visible. My
Yes,
topic
yes.
is environment versus development. Actually, today we are going to celebrate the, I think, 54th Environmental Day after the Stockholm Conference held in 1972. So this is a 5th June 2026. So I would like to welcome to all participants from all over the country, and especially thanks to Dr. Ashok Rathod who have organized this program to to provide a common platform to all environmental professors, scientists, consultants, and researchers also from various field industries, developmental sector, government organization also. So I would like to give sincere thanks to all of delegates. So now I would like to start my topic, environment versus development. So first of all, I would like to say what is the environment? The concept of environment in the mindset of the different people or citizens is different. Actually, we have to bring a consistency to understand the environment. So I would like to start from this. In the earth, पृथ्वी में कोई भी चीज ऐसी नहीं है, कोई वस्तु या कोई वनस्पति ऐसी नहीं है जिसका कि उसका पर्यावरण के प्रति कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन या योगदान ना हो. तो संस्कृत में कहा गया है अयोग्य पुरुषो नास्ति नास्ति द्रव्य मनोसम सर्वाणि सुलभा यत्र योजस्कम दुर्लभम. इस पृथ्वी में ना तो कोई वस्तु ऐसी है, इस जगत में कोई भी मनुष्य एवं प्राणी अयोग्य एवं महत्वहीन नहीं है, और न कोई वस्तु ऐसी है जो कि स्वयं औषधि अथवा औषधि का काम न करे. सभी इस पृथ्वी पर सुलभ है कि जो भी प्रकृतिमान है, लेकिन उनको वेल प्लान सुनियोजित करने वालों की दुर्बलता है. दुर्बलता सुनियोजित नहीं करने के कारण ही हमारा आज इन्वायरमेंट जो है डिग्रेडेशन जो जा रहा है. क्लाइमेट, बहुत सारी इन्वायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स हमें फेस करनी पड़े. क्लाइमेट है, राइजिंग ऑफ टेम्परेचर है, रिसाइडिंग ऑफ ग्लेशियर्स है, deforestation है. There are so many things that today everybody is facing day by day, and the global environmental problems are increasing day by day. So first of all, I would like to environment how the society accept this term this is my definition, the sum total of all the natural as well as the anthropogenic factors, natural including the physical, biological, chemical, and anthropogenic including the socio-economic, socio-cultural, and political factors also, which directly as well as indirectly affect any organism and their our life supporting system is called the environment. But this definition in the in the mindset of the different people, like the laymen also, experts also, scientists also, professors also, and the small kids also, this definition is different. Some people say just the growing of the plants is called the environment, nothing at all. So we have to know the actual what is the base of the environment, how we exist in the nature. Thus, environment can be categorized in two parts based on its natural and man-made components. Natural component it includes both biotic flora, fauna, microbiome, and abiotic component, including the air, water, noise, soils, etc. These are the mandatory and basic fundamental components. However, the anthropology of the man-made environment, is the name implies, the factors self-created by the human beings, such as the human society, our economy, culture, and politics also. Sometimes the political approach, political factors also affect our environment either directly or indirectly. These environmental factors have direct linkage among the individuals of the community and the population. These factors play a significant role in maintaining the natural environment or disturb itself. And it is the universally accepted that every individual or biological entity is made out of the five things. These five components are abbreviated called as fellow. So first one, today is the environmental day. Environmental day means not only to grow the plants only, but to understand the holistic thing about the environment, like the air, how we can clean the air, what is our contribution for the safety of the fire, land also, water also, organism. So these are the five factors. First one, the fire. Fellow means F means fire. Fire day is celebrated on the 4th May. And second is the air. Air clean day is we celebrate on the 7th September. Land day is 5th December. And water day is annually celebrated 22nd March. And organism, or we can say the biodiversity day, we generally celebrate 22nd May. So these are the five base fundamental components. We have to clean, purify, or to conserve the things for the good environmental quality to sustain the life in the great planet Earth. In this case, in Sanskrit, is also is called Chitijal Pav Gagan Samira Panchatattva Dhara Adam Sarira. It is mentioned in the Skanda Puran. In पांच तत्वों के आधार पर ही हमारा शरीर किसी भी बायोटिक एंटिटी का स्तुति का है. Next, what is the literal meaning of the environment? Environment is derived from the French root. Environment means which refers to the surrounding condition all of us. However, this concept of environment was first introduced in ecology by a German biologist Jacob von Uexküll in 20th century, whereas the ecology was first introduced by German biologist Ernst Haeckel in 1869. Before the concept of environment, generally people say about the ecology, only the interrelationship between the biotic and abiotic component. Now, what is the significance and education related to the environmental protection? Significance of the World Environmental Day. The World Environmental Day was established by UK General Assembly in December 1972 during the Stockholm Conference on the Human Environment. After that, every year, this day is celebrating all over the world. The United Nations designated 5th June as the World Environment Day to highlight that the protection and health of the environment is a major issue which affects the well-being of the people and economic development throughout the world. So this is the importance and the base of the World Environmental Day. Now I will give you a brief idea about the environmental education. Why the environmental education is mandatory for the every citizen of the country all over the world. In India, the environmental education was first started in Santiniketan University, Kolkata in 20th century, which was established as a Santiniketan Vishwavidyalaya, Vishwabharati University by the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore in 1921, and the later on given the status of the Central University in 1951 by the Act of the Indian Parliament. Today, the environmental education by the government of India in 2003, the environmental education is mandatory subject for declared as a mandatory subject for undergraduate all streams as per the guidelines, right petition, civil
number 860 of 1991 dated 22nd November 1991, subsequently order dated 23rd December 2003, issued by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. But however, yet now no equal credit is being given to the subject. This subject has a global significance by most like academic institutions all over the country, which reflect the violation of the guidelines issued by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So my submission is this: if we just a perception is given by the Chinese people, so we can say the Chinese perception. If you plant for 1 year, plant rice. If you plant for 10 years, plant trees. If you plant plant for more than 100 years, so educate the people. So in our governmental education, though had been the mandatory subject, but not teaching and getting the equal credit like other subjects in Indian universities. So my submission is that this point should be raised by the all environmental professional consultant to the government of India. This education should be the mandatory for the every citizen, because the understanding about the environment of the different people is different in the different ways. So next, my topic is environment versus development. So I will briefly define the development, growth, and development. There are two. If we talk about the development, one synonym also use growth. So growth and development are two different things. Growth is the irreversible increase in size and weight of the organism or the quantitative approach. However, the development is the qualitative approach. If we think about the development, we want to create some infrastructure as a developmental intervention. So we have to understand the developmental base of the development. There are basically three of development: balanced development, integrated development, and sustainable development. But sustainable development is the universal aspect for the existence of life and the betterment of our day-to-day services. So this, what is the focus? Focus is the equal progress, balanced equal progress. However, integrated with the holistic action, and sustainable is the long term of viability. And key features of these three types of balance developmental avoids regional and social economic merge strategy for the mutual reinforcement, preserve resources for the future have the following three key pillars: social equity, economic growth, and environmental protection. Third one, the key principle. Key principle of the balanced development is the strive for the harmony among all sections and integrated synergy among the policy sector and the communities, and sustainable development. Intergenerational equity has a focus on environmental, social, and economic. Environment versus development. If we think about the environment, definitely if we think about the development, definitely we have to compromise with the environment and the environmental uh, uh, as- so environment directly or indirectly, we have the environment also anticipated impact on the we are compromising with respect to our development intervention. In this card, follow some legal guidance and use the eco-friendly methods to minimize both potential developmental intervention. In this regard, it is uniquely accepted that the sustainable development, which is the buzzword of the 19th decade of 20th century. So the sustainable development is not a old world, just came into the 19th decade of 20th century, which is the most appropriate method to scape conserve the environment against the cruel exploitation of the nature and natural resources. However, before the understanding of concept of development, we should clearly distinguish these two words as generally called the growth and development. I have already mentioned here. So today, this development, seventh, the United Nations Development Commission defines sustainability as the meeting of the just this term has already defined by Professor I think Ganapati sir. So I want to make this meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Today there are almost 40 or 50 developing countries in the world seeking the ways of the meeting their development needs, but with the increasing threats of climate change. Concrete efforts must be made to ensure the development it does not negatively affect the future generation. So this is the widely accepted. These are so how the sustainable development and then we enforce in the practices, or what are the principles, what are the goals, and what are the subjects related to achieve the sustainable development. There are 8 principles, 17 sustainable goals, and 29 subjects identified under Schedule 11th of the Indian Constitution for Sustainable Development, which are implementing all over the sustainability and briefly described below. These are the 8 principles. Principle 1, empowerment of the local communities, identification of primary requirement of the local people. Third one, the participation of local people in sustainable development. Fourth one, importance of local knowledge and experience. Fifth one, the gender equity. And sixth one, the full power to the weaker section. Seventh is the conservation of biodiversity and natural resources. Eighth one is the investment on traditional technology and passes to the local markets. So these are the 8 principles of the sustainable development. And these are the 17 goals. So the government, if achieve to any goal out of these 70 goals, the government also give the award to the as a SDG Goalkeeper Award, Sustainable Development Goalkeeper Award annually in our state, Uttarakhand state. So these are the goals. If any organization like NGO at individual level or any other person achieve any goal, so the government also goalkeeper award for this and this year. So first SDG 1 is the no poverty, zero hunger. Third one SDG good health and the well-being, quality education, gender equity, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequity, sustainable cities and community, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice from institution. But next, 29 subjects. These are the 29 subjects. So first one is the agriculture. If we say about the development, definitely every subject we have to cover. So how to we achieve the development. Development does not mean only infrastructure. Development means to quantitative approach. So agriculture, strengthening of agriculture, small scale industries, fisheries, minor forest products, potable water, health and hygiene, minor irrigation, water management, animal husbandry, dairy and farm poverty, poultry, social and agroforestry, khadi cottage and rural industries, roads, bridges, waterways and other traditional energy sources, land development reclamation, Chakbandi and conservation, welfare of the SCs and STs, tribal communities also, technical training and vocational education, poverty reduction, fuel and library. Next one, 19th subject, family welfare, women child development, rural housing, adult and informal education, cultural activities, local market of voice, primary and junior level education, rural electrification and distribution, public distribution system, welfare of the handicapped and the mentally retarded person, maintenance of the community assets. So these are the 29 subjects of the sustainable development. So if we think about the development, so we have to do some, take some initiative for to make a harmony between environment and development. So these are the 5 basic components. We have to bring a harmony between the environment and development. First one, the direction of investment, that is called the within image. Second is the engineering component, Abhiyantriki Ghatak. Third one, the environmental component, Paryavani Ghatak. Fourth one is the social component, Samajik Ghatak. Fifth one is the technical अन्वेषण means technical investigation. So अच्छा प्रबंधन अच्छा क्रियान्वयन, जब 5 कंपोनेंट के बीच तारतम्य होगा तो automatically हमारा development होगा, that will be in a sustainable way. So what happened nowadays, government take many projects from different funding agency like World Bank, ADB, JICA, etc. So there is they don't follow the statutory regulatory clearances. They just fear about the regulatory clearances. how to get, who will take the regulatory clearances, why we take the need to the statutory clearances. So my submission is this: the statutory clearances are not the prohibitory clearances. These are the regulatory clearances. इनको लेना जरूरी है क्योंकि these are the regulatory clearances. इनको अगर हम लेंगे तो हमारा इन्वायरमेंट जो होगा, मैनेजमेंट जो होगा, वो रेगुलेशन में रहेगा, रेगुलेटेड रहेगा, नियंत्रित रहेगा. Otherwise, if we don't get the environment, any type of the statutory clearances from authority, so we will deteriorating the environmental quality either directly or indirectly. In some project proponents say like this: we don't need the requirement for this and this purpose, for this and this purpose. So just we have being as a consultant, myself a consultant, it's our role and responsibility to review the environmental regulations, laws prior to the preparation of the DPR, preparation of the environmental plan, what kind of the regulatory mechanism we have to follow for that particular project. So my summation to develop the sustainable infrastructure. What happened nowadays? Everybody thinks that we are the developing country. But my summation is that without the traditional knowledge, without the traditional practices, without the traditional tools, we cannot achieve the sustainable development. Last year, what happened in Uttarakhand state? There was a big incident happened, tunnel incident in Uttarakhand. So experts called from the Australia and abroad also. They come here and about the tunnel incident. 17 लोग वहां पे फंस गया था टनल के अंदर, उनको बाहर निकालने के लिए 17 दिन तक सारी टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट किया. एवरी टेक्नोलॉजी वाज फेलियर दियर. लास्ट में 2 दिन में जो बच गए, तो हमारे जो ट्रेडिशनल जो लोकल लोग थे, उन्होंने उसको खोद के जो है अपने लोकल टूल्स से जो है उन लोगों को बाहर निकाल दिया. तो मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि डेवलपमेंट का मतलब ये नहीं है कि हमारे पास कितने वैकेंसी है, कितना हमारे पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, कितने प्रकार के हमारे पास गाड़ियां हैं. डेवलपमेंट का मतलब ये है कि हमारे पास ट्रेडिशनल टेक्नोलॉजी है, कि हम ट्रेडिशनल टेक्नोलॉजी को भी फॉलो कर रहे हैं. वी कैन अडॉप्ट द ट्रेडिशनल टेक्नोलॉजी. तो जब तक हमारे पास साथ में सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की बात करें, तो हमें ट्रेडिशनल चीजों को भी पैरेलल लेके चलना पड़ेगा. आज फ्यूल का क्राइसिस है, आज फ्यूल का क्राइसिस, एलपीजी का क्राइसिस हम लोग फेस कर रहे हैं, बट वी डोंट नो हाउ टू मेक फूड विथ फायर. आग से लकड़ी को जला के हम कैसे खाना बना सकते हैं, वी डोंट नो, नोबडी नोज, बिकॉज वी हैव टू डेवलप. हमारी जो ट्रेडिशनल प्रैक्टिसेस है, ट्रेडिशनल हैबिट्स हैं, वो हम मिस कर चुके हैं. तो अगर हमारे ट्रेडिशनल प्रैक्टिसेस नहीं होंगे तो हमारा डेवलपमेंट कम हुआ. दैट इज नॉट सस्टेनेबल. सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट का मतलब ये है कि जो पुरानी चीजें, पुरानी धरोहर, वो भी मेंटेन रहो. इन एडिशन ऑफ दिस, टू अडॉप्ट द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी, न्यू इन्वेस्टिगेशंस, all these things we have to incorporate for the betterment and to facilitate our day-to-day life. Thanks to all of you for this brief presentation, because we have the limited time, so
Yes.
I cannot elaborate more.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
These are
sir, for your time.
just to remind,
Yes.
just to remind our state symbols on this occasion of World Environmental Day. Just I would like to remind you, this is the Brahma Kamal. This is the state flower of Uttarakhand. This scientific name is Sosuri ovulata. Another beautiful flower is this state tree. This is called the Buras rhododendron arboreum. And this is the Kalpvrix of Uttarakhand. This is the Quercus species, Quercus leucotrichophora. This is called Bhag. And this is the state flower, state bud of the Uttarakhand state, Monal. But geological name is Lophophorus impigenus. And fourth one, this is the state animal of the Uttarakhand state, the Oscar deer. Geological name is the Moscus mostiferus. These are our the state symbols from Uttarakhand. So I would like to give thanks to all of delegate Dr. Ashok Rathorji, who have organized this program and also invited me for this presentation. I hope that we will be in touch in future and try to for better education, environmental education all over the country. Without the environmental education, we cannot protect the environment. So my summation is this: kindly also please educate the people. Follow the Chinese perception. If you plant for 1 year, plant rice means or to grow the crops. If you plant for 10 years, plant the trees. If we are planning for more than 100 years, so definitely we need to educate the people. So the environmental education should be mandatory all over the country. Just this presently the government is giving the possibility in Indian universities. This education was thoroughly teaching among the students. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. So now I invite our next speaker, Mr. Ashish Mehta. He is Vice President of Technical Services at Green Jenny Enviro Protection Private Limited. With over 2 decades of experience in the environmental engineering, postgraduate diploma in business management from IIM Kolkata, postgraduate program in environment, health and safety from UPES Dehradun, and bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from Shivaji University. His expertise spans the design, erection, commissioning, operation, maintenance of WTP, just TPs, TSDF, R&D laboratories, co-processing, pre-processing facilities, R&D. He has worked on key projects involving circular economy, ESG challenges, water management strategies, and innovation in hazardous waste management and pre-processing. Today, he will speak on pre-processing and co-processing as a catalyst for sustainability. Over to you, sir. Can you share your screen? I request Dr. Ashley Tiwari, please unshare your screen. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible now. Voice is not coming. Screen is visible, but you are not audible. Can you unmute? Don't, can unmute. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You can unmute again. I have mistakenly muted yourself. Yes, yes, yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Now
Is
you
it
are audible.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashokji. Thank
Thanks.
you for giving this opportunity. Today, I am going to basically discuss about pre-processing of waste, which can be a catalyst for circular economy. It has a potential for unlocking the alternate fuel resource market in India. My name is Ashish Mehta. I am serving as Vice President Technical Service and Sustainability for Green Gene Enviro Protection and Infrastructure Limited, a Luthra group of companies. We are basically into the industrial hazardous and non-hazardous waste management. We accept this waste from industrial as well as non-industrial sources and convert it to alternate fuel and supply it to cement industries for co-processing. Now, to start with, if we see
Sir,
what is India's
can
waste
you
generation.
yeah, can you full scale this presentation? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So, if we see what is India's waste generation landscape, if we see the scale and opportunity and also the challenge with these numbers, we are generating almost 70 million tons of municipal solid waste. We have almost 8 million tons of hazardous waste, which is generated by more than 47,000 units. We have, more than 300 million tons of industrial organic waste. We have around 170 million tons of construction and demolition waste. Apart from that, I would say we have already inventory of 1,300 million tons of legacy municipal solid waste, which is available and stored and dumped in more than 600 cities at this moment of time. Now the question is, despite having more than 500 million tons of year of waste potential, our Indian cement sector is achieving around 7% of thermal desired fuel and raw material substituting the fossil fuel and virgin raw material in energy intensive industries like steel, cement, thermal power plant, and so on. It can be different sources. It could be municipal solid waste, it could be industrial waste, it could be hazardous waste. If it is pre-processed and converted to alternate fuel according to the cement industry's criteria and their acceptable norms, they would be, helping for energy recovery and raw material recovery. If this waste are of the calorific value equivalent to the fossil fuel which they are conventionally using, it can be substituted and it could be saved. In co-processing in cement kilns, there is a simultaneous waste disposal taking place plus energy recovery at almost 1400 degree centigrade. And in this process, there is an elimination of landfill because whatever ash is generated becomes part of clinker. Because the waste is disposed in the cement kiln itself, there is no need of incinerator, so we are eliminating the incinerator. Apart from that, high residence time and high temperature ensures, complete destruction of the waste. So not only the environmental benefits, but in GHG reduction because we are avoiding and eliminating consumption of fossil fuel by the conventional end of pipe waste treatment methods. If we talk about AFR types, there are municipal waste derived, there are hazardous waste derived, there are biomass derived, and then it could be also from industrial sludges. We can get a dual benefit of energy and raw material, as I said. The global practices, if we see for the European countries, US, the thermal substitution rate in cement plant is in the range of 20 to 80%. In India, most of the cement plants have TSR of less than 2.5, whereas some of the plant has achieved as high as 20 to 25%. But there is a wide variation. If we see the global benchmark, Netherlands is at 83%, Austria is at 80%, Germany is 67%. The global average is 15, and India is in the range of 2.5%. Why there is so high gap, despite having one of the world's largest waste stream generation? The root cause here is the lack of pre-processing infrastructure causing the primary barrier, not the waste feedstock. I would like to add that some of the leading Indian cement plants have achieved TSR of 15%, and their target is to achieve 25% by 2030. Now the question arises, where is the gap? If we have AFR market available with us, where is the gap? The gap is the feedstock quality variable. There is inconsistent moisture content, there is a seasonal variation, particularly when we are dealing with municipal solid waste, RDF, and the legacy waste. In industrial waste, issues of high chlorine and inert content in mixed waste, unpredictable calorific value if it is not properly processed, mixed, or blended, direct clean use without pre-processing risk combustion instability. If there is a direct co-processing from waste generator to cement without any pre-processing or blending, there are issues related to that. There are insufficient pre-processing capacities. There is another area of challenge where adequate technologies and equipment machines are not available. There are no such platforms available where it can ensure more or effective conversion to alternate fuel. Informal sectors are not integrated into formal supply chain. That is one of the other causes related to the insufficient capacity. The third important barrier is regulatory and the logistics aspect. High RDF transport costs reduce competitiveness. Regulatory caution on emission and clinker quality is another challenge. Slower approvals, the perception gaps among the cement plant operator are the other challenges. There are issues related to calorific value. Basically, 13 megajoule per kg is the RDF net calorific value in winter with lower measure. But in different season, in summer, it changes and varies. So seasonal variation demands mandatory pre-processing before co-processing to ensure the compliance of the cement quality criteria and the regulatory compliance. So these are the challenges and the gaps.
If we talk about the pre-processing technologies transforming waste to AFR, the catalytic enabler of quality assurance in alternate fuel are basically the size reduction systems, the unit operations, which ensures produce uniform particle size for stable and consistent kiln combustion at a controlled feed rate. Trommel and ballistic separation systems, particularly for municipal and legacy waste, where RDF fractions are purified from the inerts. Dry and moisture control, improving for net calorific value in managing the seasonal variation. The blending and fuel formation, where we are handling industrial mix AFR. These are the challenging things. And the emerging one is RDF gasification, where steam gas integration directly into kiln provides a broader opportunity for AFR utilization. The horizontal process flow for AFR is basically waste input, then the unit operations like shredding, drying, crushing, neutralization, or physicochemical treatment and packaging as an alternate fuel or RDF. So this is the processing system. Now, what are the basically process economics? If we see about cost versus value, the RDF production cost on site comes in the range of 2,000 to 4,300 rupees per ton. The coal equivalent, the fossil fuel, is in the range of 3,500 to 6,000. Now, due to the war crisis and other geopolitical issues, this cost has ranged up to 9,000 rupees per ton. So, if we compare the AFR versus the conventional fuel cost, RDF pre-processes at average 4,100, coal at 6,000, and petcoke at 11,000. The externalities, if are internalized, pre-processing AFR is 3 to 4 times more cost competitive than conventional fuel. This is one of the biggest leverage that is available when we accept and follow the AFR fuel. What is the environment impact? There is a triple win in this particular aspect. There is a CO2 reduction, the GHG emission reduction, fossil fuel displacement, and the waste diversion. We are eliminating incinerator as well as landfill. The landfill diversion would be 13.7 million tons per year of MSW available for co-processing, which will be reducing the landfill burden in groundwater contamination. Fossil fuel displacement. Because we are substituting the coal, the bituminous coal, which is used by the cement, by the alternate fuel, there will be reduction of that consumption, and that thermal substitution will help in GHG reduction. Also, the operational cost reduction. The emission compliances. Quality control pre-processing ensures tech emission limits are met and address a regulatory requirement. Now, if we see that we want to achieve the TSR targets for cements. In that particular case, if AFR demand we evaluate to achieve the TSR targets per million tons of cement produced, let's say for 5% TSR target, which is a near term average, we are talking for across the cement, it would be 7,000 tons of alternate fuel required per million tons of cement. That is for 5% target. If we go for 10% medium term, around 3 to 5 years, it will be 14,000 tons of AFR per million tons of cement. And we are talking of 20% TSR as a long term, more than 10 years, and 25,000 tons of alternate fuel is required per million tons of cement. So, where is the lever for circular economy? It is the closing the resource loop from linear disposal to circular economy. Circular economy is basically collecting the waste, then sorting, pre-processing, converting into AFR production, consuming it in co-processing in kiln, resource recovery in terms of material, in terms of energy, and waste utilization. This is the circular path as in circular economy lever. Transforming linear waste disposal into closed loop recovery is the core principle of circular economy. This is basically dual recovery model where we can recover energy as well as raw material. Integrates the formal waste sector where formal supply chains creates green livelihood, improving feedstock reliability, and it aligns with our national commitments such as Swachh Bharat Mission, solid waste management rules, India's NDC targets, and basically some statutory rulings and cases where NGT has issued an order for consumption of solid waste as a fuel. So this policy alignment, pre-processing hub positioned near cement cluster can serve as a circular economy nodes for connecting waste generator, pre-processor, and industrial consumer in a single value chain. The regulatory framework and policy pathways. We have current regulatory framework, we have CPCB guidelines, MOEF rules, solid waste management rules. There are projects Indo-Norwegian to support the AFR process and activities. And there are policy recommendations that we can look for, that is decentralization of pre-processing hubs, having incentivized co-located pre-processing facility near cement clusters, reducing the logistics costs. We have seen similar facility across Europe and US. Formalize informers of the formal supply chain via SLG models. This is very true in case of municipal solid waste management, international quality standards, adopting the GIZ and Basel Conventional Protocol for RDF and AFR, building up market confidence about the quality and its consumption, and mandatory targets. This is very, very important, where the government and statutory bodies come into the picture for regulatory framework. If there are mandatory TSR targets, it will, ensure the, consumption of alternate fuel by the cement plants. So if there are set phase TSR mandates for cement industries from 5% to 25% with physical incentives, it will support this initiative in the long term. So strategic roadmap is from 0 to 3 years for building the foundation, then 3 to 7 years to scale the infrastructure, and 7 to 15 years for leading the transition. Already a lot more has been done. New pre-processing facilities has come up. Cement has modified. The consumption has increased, but still there is a long way to go. And for that, this approach is required. So achieving more than 20% of TSR requires 25,000 tons of AFR per million tons of cement. And pre-processing infrastructure is the supply side enabler that makes this possible via these targets and goals from short to long-term range. So concluding my slide, pre-processing is the strategic imperative which has the potential to unlock India's circular economy through AFR infrastructure investment. India has 550 million tons of waste potential, where the pre-processing is the key to unlock the AFR market value. Second point is TSR of 2.5 versus global 15 to 83%. There is a gap which is bridgeable with targeted pre-processing infrastructure investment. Third is this endeavor supports triple win, that is waste management, energy substitution, and CO2 reduction simultaneously. And the fourth one is the policy, technology, and market alignment, where these three pillars come together for AFR scale-up. Pre-processing is not a technical step, it is a strategic lever to unlock India's circular economy and drive sustainable industrial transformation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time on pre-processing and co-processing. Now, we have Mr. Dr. Ajay Sahai, popularly known as Water Man of Bihar. He is renowned environmentalist, water conservationist, author, and social activist with 31 years of experience in the Jharkhand and Bihar. Mr. Sahai has been honored with the multiple titles like Jal Prahari, Jal Yodha, River Guardian, and Prayavan Prahari. His signature initiative, Jal Panchayat model, has been implemented across 500 panchayat, empowering communities through democratic process, public participation, and water budgeting to achieve the water self-dependency. He has conducted water awareness program in 500 school, reaching 1.4 million rural people on water conservation and environmental protection. He's also author of 40 books on water, environment, climate change, river, wetland, etc. So now his vision is clear to build a water self-dependent India through Jal Panchayat, public participation, democratic process, scientific water management. Today, he will share his insights on biodiversity conservation in today's scenario. Please welcome Dr. Ajay Sahai. Over to you, sir. Hello. Dr. Ajay Sahai.
Good afternoon, all of you.
Good
आवाज आ
afternoon.
रही है?
Yes, 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 yes. Now pretty audible.
हाँ.
जी.
कल्पना करें सर कि एक सुबह जब आप जागे तो चिड़िया की चहचहाट ना हो, खेतों में आप जाएं तो परागन करने वाले मधुमक्खी ना हो, नदी में जाएं तो मछलियां ना दिखे, और जंगल से जब आप क्रॉस करें तो आपको जानवर का कोलाहल ना सुनाई दे। ये एक काल्पनिक लग रहा है, लेकिन जिस तरह से हमारी जैव विविधता जिस राह में चल रही है, आने वाले समय में यह एक रियल कहानी के रूप में यह दिखेगा। जिस तरह से अभी जैव विविधता भारत में या पूरे विश्व में चल रही है। पहले जैव विविधता पर्यावरणविदों का एक विषय था, लेकिन यह मानव अस्तित्व, जल सुरक्षा, खाद्य सुरक्षा, स्वास्थ्य सुरक्षा का मूल आधार बन गया है। यूएनओ ने भी कहा है कि हमारे 10 लाख प्रजाति जो हैं जैव विविधता के, वो विलुप्त के होने के कगार पर हैं, और जो हमारी विलुप्ति दर है वो प्राकृतिक दर से 100 से 1000 गुना अधिक है। इसका कारण यह है कि पिछले औद्योगिक क्रांति के बाद हमारे पूरे विश्व में 1.3 डिग्री टेम्परेचर पूरे विश्व में बढ़ा है, और जो पिछले 50 सालों में हमारे 69% जो जानवर की आबादी थी उसमें कमी आई है। अब जब भारत को देखते हैं तो भारत में पूरे विश्व का 2.4% लैंड है, जिसमें 8% हमारी बायोडाइवर्सिटी रहती है। अब बायोडाइवर्सिटी का हमारा मेन हॉट स्पॉट हमारा एरिया गंगा नदी का बेसिन है, हिमालय है, अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप हो गया, पाकिस्तान हो गया, पश्चिमी घाट हो गया, सुंदरबन हो गया। अब सर हमारे यहाँ पिछले 2 दशकों से भारत में जो जैव विविधता जिस हद से प्रभावित हुई है, जबकि हमारे यहाँ वाइल्ड लाइफ एक्ट 1972 है, फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन एक्ट 1980 है, उसके बाद आपको एनवायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1986 है, हम लोग ने बायोडाइवर्सिटी एक्ट 2002 भी बना के रखा है, साथ में वेटलैंड कंजर्वेशन एक्ट 2017 भी बना के रखा है। उसके बाद भी हमारे यहाँ रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, वेटलैंड फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, और पॉन्ड फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है। ये डेवलपमेंट देखने में तो बहुत सुंदर लगता है, लेकिन आगे चलकर ये नदी, तालाब या वेटलैंड के लिए आत्महत्या के समान है, क्योंकि इसके अगल बगल में आप फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं, इसके अगल बगल में हमारी बायोडाइवर्सिटी भी जन्म लेती है। नदी या तालाब या वेटलैंड का पानी जो है वो केवल जल स्रोत नहीं है, एक पूरा जीवित इकोसिस्टम है। हमको ये देखना चाहिए। अभी हम लोग हिमालय की और जब चलते हैं तो पिछले 2020 में 3 लाख टूरिस्ट आते थे हिमालय में 4 धाम की यात्रा करने, जो 2025 में बढ़कर 51 लाख हो गई। इसके कारण 21 मीट्रिक टन आपका कचरा पैदा हुआ, और जो प्लास्टिक बोतलें 20,000 पर फेंकी जा रही है, वो माइक्रोप्लास्टिक भगीरथ नदी में, अलकनंदा नदियों में गिर रही है, जिससे बायोडाइवर्सिटी प्रभावित हो रही है। गंगा नदी में हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि जिस तरह से गंगा नदी के बीओडी बढ़ रही है, गंगा नदी का डीओ पहले 8 मिलीग्राम प्रति लीटर होता था गंगा नदी का, इस कारण डॉल्फिन, घड़ियाल, कछुए और 125 किस्म के मछली मिलते थे, जो आज घटकर 50 से 60 किस्म के मछली मिलते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी डीओ पर दिन घटती चली आ रही है, 8 से नीचे आ गई हमारी बीओडी भी हमारी काफी बढ़ गई है, जिससे गंगा नदी प्रदूषित हो गया। अब आती है बात कि 2017 में मार्च महीने में हमारी उत्तराखंड हाई कोर्ट ने डिसीजन दिया था कि गंगा यमुना एक जीवित इंसान का दर्जा दिया था, और हिमालय को भी लिविंग एंटाइटी का दर्जा मिला था, लेकिन बाद में ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट में स्टे हो गया। जबकि दूसरे देश में न्यूजीलैंड में वांगानुई नदी को एक जीवित इंसान का दर्जा मिला है। कोलंबिया में आपको रेन वाटर जो फॉरेस्ट एरिया है उसको भी जीवित इंसान का दर्जा मिला है। इक्वाडोर में हमको राइट
वॉइस इज नॉट ऑडिबल। हाँ, आई थिंक सर आपका वीडियो रुक गया है, वॉइस भी नहीं आ रही है, आवाज में कुछ थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हुआ है। हम्म। अजय साय सर, आप आगे दोबारा ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं क्या? अभी आपने ज्वाइन किया है आप? कुछ टेक्निकल इश्यू है आई थिंक। अजय साय सर, मेरी आवाज सुन सकते हैं आप? No, I think there must be network problem. Uh, we'll wait for some time. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yes, sir. Now you are in. You can start talking, sir. आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिए, आपका माइक म्यूट है। यस सर, आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिए एक बार, आपका माइक म्यूट है। अजय साय सर।
हमारी है।
यस सर, यस सर। हाँ, अभी आवाज आ रही है, बिल्कुल परफेक्ट। यस यस यस।
आवाज आ रही है ना?
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट।
मैं उसमें लैपटॉप पर था, क्यों
कोई
डिस्टर्ब
बात
हो गया मैं समझ नहीं पाया।
हाँ हाँ, कोई बात नहीं सर, कोई इट्स हैपन समटाइम।
एक बार वो टूट गया।
हाँ,
फिर
नॉट एन इश्यू, यू कैन कंटिन्यू सर।
तो मैं फिर से रिपीट कर दे रहा हूँ
जी जी जी।
कि हमारे पिछले 2 दशक में हमारे देश में जिस तरह से रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट, वेटलैंड फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट और पॉन्ड फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट हुआ है, और जबकि हमारे यहाँ वाइल्ड एक्ट 1972, फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन एक्ट 1980, वेटलैंड कंजर्वेशन एक्ट 2017 और इन्वायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1986 और हमारे बायोडाइवर्सिटी एक्ट 2002 ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट है। इसके बावजूद भी लगातार देश से पिछले 2 दशकों में 4 करोड़ पेड़ काटे गए हैं, जबकि मैदानी इलाका में 33% पौधा होने चाहिए और पहाड़ी इलाका में 66% पौधा होने चाहिए। हमने हिमालय को देखा कि हिमालय में 2020 में 3 लाख लोग टूरिस्ट गए थे 4 धाम की यात्रा में, जो 2025 में बढ़कर 51 लाख टूरिस्ट हो गए, और 21.4 मिलियन मीट्रिक टन आपका कचरा इन लोगों के द्वारा मतलब फैलाया गया, और साथ में 20,000 प्लास्टिक का बोतल पर डे नदी में अलकनंदा भगवती नदी में माइक्रोप्लास्टिक फेंका गया, जिससे कहीं ना कहीं नदी के अंदर में जो बायोडाइवर्सिटी थी वो प्रभावित हुई, और साथ में इनके ट्रैकिंग के कारण जो प्रेशियस मेडिसिनल प्लांट थे उनका प्राकृतिक आवास भी प्रभावित हुआ। साथ में जंगली जानवर जो होते हैं, कस्तूरी मृग और लेपर्ड, उनका भी प्राकृतिक जो आवास उसको भी प्रभावित हुआ। हम 2017 में मार्च महीना में हमारी उत्तराखंड हाई कोर्ट ने एक डिसीजन दिया था कि गंगा यमुना को लिविंग एंटाइटी और साथ साथ हिमालय के क्षेत्र को भी लिविंग एंटाइटी का दर्जा मिला था, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाकर स्टे हो गया। अब ये प्रश्न हो रहा है गंगा नदी के साथ में कि गंगा नदी तो मां मानते हैं, 50 करोड़ आबादी गंगा नदी की इर्द गिर्द बहती है। पहले गंगा नदी का डीओ हमेशा सबसे अन्य नदियों से गंगा नदी का डीओ हमेशा हाई रहता है, 8 से ऊपर रहता है, 8 मिलीग्राम प्रति लीटर। उसका कारण था कि देवदार ट्री के जंगलों से जब गंगा नदी क्रॉस करती थी तो उसके जो चीजें थी केमिकल वो गंगा नदी में आती थी, जिसके कारण, और साथ में जो ग्लेशियर के ठंडे पानी के कारण हमेशा डीओ ऊंचा रहता था। बीओडी भी 1.5 से 3 मिलीग्राम प्रति लीटर होता था, जो आज हमारा कहीं कहीं 20, कहीं 18, कहीं 30 हो गया है। और फीकल क्लोरोफॉर्म जो 50 एमपीएन होना चाहिए वो 500 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ गया किसी किसी जगह पर। हम अभी नमामि गंगे चला रहे हैं, लेकिन नमामि गंगे से हम कुछ साफ कर सकते हैं गंगा नदी को, लेकिन जब तक आपके जल पंचायत का कॉन्सेप्ट आप नहीं रखिएगा तब तक ना तो हिमालय की स्थिति में सुधार होगा, ना आपके जितने भी हॉट स्पॉट एरिया है बायोडाइवर्सिटी का, वहां कहीं सुधार होने वाला नहीं। तो मतलब जल पंचायत में क्या होता है, कम्युनिटी और जो नेचर कंपोनेंट है दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ संवाद करते हैं। जैसे एक पंचायत में अगर नदी है, वेटलैंड है, फॉरेस्ट है, रेन वाटर गिरता है, इसका मतलब हो गया कि कम्युनिटी को इसकी जानकारी होनी चाहिए कि मेरे यहाँ इतना जंगल है, मेरे यहाँ ये नदी गुजरती है, मेरे यहाँ से इतना रेन वाटर गिरता है, इसको कैसे स्टोर करें, कि कैसे तभी ना जब पानी आप स्टोर कीजिएगा तभी बायोडाइवर्सिटी बढ़ेगी। पानी जब नहीं रहेगा, आपका नमी नहीं रहेगा, पेड़ पौधे नहीं रहेंगे, बायोडाइवर्सिटी कभी नहीं आएगा। सुखाड़ में कभी बायोडाइवर्सिटी नहीं पैदा हो सकता है। तो ये हमने पिछले 800 पंचायतों में कम से कम मैंने बताया, पिछले 32 सालों में हमारे गंगा नदी के इर्द गिर्द में 4464 जल पंचायत है। मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि सारी जल पंचायत ऑनरशिप लें अपने अपने एरिया में जहां से गंगा नदी बहती है, ऑनरशिप लें कि भाई यहाँ गंगा नदी का जो भी पॉल्यूशन है उसको हम समाप्त करेंगे। गंगा नदी के एरिया का जो वेटलैंड है, जो पानी बरसात की गिरती है मेरी ऑनरशिप पे रहेगी। जो वहाँ के तालाब है, नदी है, ब्रांचेस है, बहुत सारी नदियां, छोटी छोटी नदियां हैं, वो सब पर ऑनरशिप ले। आप देखिएगा नदी का प्रवाह भी बहेगा, और साथ साथ ये जितनी सारे समस्याएं हैं, एक्ट से हम कभी भी किसी बीमारी का समाधान नहीं कर सकते हैं जब तक पब्लिक का पार्टिसिपेशन ना हो, लोकल ओनरशिप ना बढ़ेगा, जब तक डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस नहीं आएगा, उस जन पंचायत के माध्यम से ही आएगा। मेरी 32 सालों के करियर में मैंने यही बात बोला, पानी बो, पानी उगाओ, पानी बोने पर पानी उगेगा और साथ साथ बायोडाइवर्सिटी भी बढ़ेगा आपका। यही चीज हिमालय में भी होनी चाहिए, जहां 18,000 हिमालय में जल पंचायत है और 7,000 उसके लोकल सेल्फ गांव है, दोनों मिलाकर 25,000 है। अगर ग्राम पंचायतें, ग्राम सभा ये बात बताने लगेगी सरकार को कि इस जगह हमारा प्रीशियस मेडिसिनल प्लांट है, यहाँ पर आपको हम रोड बनाने नहीं देंगे, रोड कटने नहीं देंगे, तो फिर सरकार कैसे काटेगी? तो ये चीजें जब तक लोकल लेवल पर राज्य सरकार दे पावर जल पंचायत का, या तो भारत सरकार एक एक्ट बनाकर दे सभी पंचायतों को। भारत में पूरे सब मिलाकर 2,55,000 हमारे यहाँ पंचायत है। आज जरूरत है, जैसे बाढ़ का पानी है, लोग कहते हैं ये तो विपदा है। अरे बाढ़ का पानी को अगर आप कहीं कई जगह ट्रेन बनाकर, कई जगह छोटी छोटी नदियों में चेक डैम बनाकर, कई जगह वेटलैंड में उसको मोड़कर अगर आप पानी बढ़ाइएगा, उससे आपका क्या होगा? आपका बायोडाइवर्सिटी भी बढ़ेगा। बायोडाइवर्सिटी ऐसे ही ना बढ़ेगा। जब नमी रहेगा तो पेड़ पौधे होंगे, आपका बायोडाइवर्सिटी रहेगा। तो हम बाढ़ के पानी को हम विपदा मानते हैं, मैं उसको आपदा मानता हूँ। आज हमारे देश में 70 से 80 हजार जो पंचायतें हैं वो बाढ़ से प्रभावित हैं। हमारी जल पंचायत के माध्यम से अगर बाढ़ के पानी को हम बिछा दें, स्टोर करें, तो हमारा बायोडाइवर्सिटी क्यों नहीं बढ़ेगा? हमारे 1.5 लाख पंचायत ऐसे हैं पूरे भारत में जहां पर वेटलैंड है, वेटलैंड हमारा है। तो हम वेटलैंड का संरक्षण करेंगे, वहां पर पानी का प्रॉपर व्यवस्था रखेंगे, तो कैसे वहां पर बायोडाइवर्सिटी नहीं बढ़ेगा? सरकार का जो नीति है, सरकार जिस तरह से अभी लगातार डेवलपमेंट कर रही है, सौंदर्यीकरण कर रही है, ब्यूटिफिकेशन ठीक है, देखने में अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन हमारी ओरिजिनलिटी है, प्राकृतिक के जो मौलिक चीजें वो समाप्त हो रही है। कम से कम सब हम लोग को जल पंचायत के माध्यम से हम जितने पानी बोएंगे, उतने पानी उगाएंगे, उतना ही वेटलैंड को मजबूत करेंगे, उतना ही हमारा नदी भी मजबूत होगा, उतना ही पेड़ पीपल बरगद जल पंचायत के माध्यम से मैंने पीपल नीम बरगद ये मैंने लगवाया, क्योंकि ये तीनों रेन वाटर को स्टोरेज करते हैं अपने जड़ में, और साथ बायोडाइवर्सिटी का ये एक हॉट स्पॉट है। ये पेड़ ये पहले हमारे पूर्वज लगाते थे। आज मैंने गाँव में घूमता हूं, मैं 32 सालों में गाँव में जो घूमा, मुझे ये पेड़ दिखते नहीं है। शायद कहीं कहीं बरगद दिखता है, कहीं कहीं पीपल दिखता है, कहीं कहीं नीम दिखता है। आज ये लगाने की जरूरत है। पिछले 5 सालों में मैंने 1 लाख नीम पीपल बरगद लगाया, इसलिए कि बायोडाइवर्सिटी मेरा बना रहे और पानी हमारा स्टोर रहे। जब पानी स्टोर रहेगा पेड़ों के जड़ के नीचे में, तो आपका वाटर टेबल भागेगा नहीं, उससे क्या नमी भी बना रहेगा और बायोडाइवर्सिटी भी हमेशा बना रहेगा। ये वेटलैंड के लिए भी है, ये बाढ़ के पानी के लिए भी है, गंगा नदी के पानी को सुधार करने के लिए हमारे जो 4,464 जो हमारी जल पंचायत है, उनको इनिशिएटिव लेना पड़ेगा, उन वहां के लोगों को ऑनरशिप लेना पड़ेगा। ये कोई एक्ट से ये होने वाला नहीं है। या हिमालय, अगर आज हिमालय 2013 के बाद हम देख रहे कई आपदा का शिकार है, उसके बहुत बड़ी कारण के मानवीय हस्तक्षेप है। मानवीय हस्तक्षेप तब हम करेंगे, सरकार भी लगातार वहां डेवलपमेंट के नाम पर कई तरह के काम कर रहा है। जब तक हमारी जल पंचायत नहीं आगे आएगा, जल पंचायत ऑनरशिप नहीं लेगा, सरकार पर ये बंधन डालेगा कि भाई ये चीज सेंसिटिव एरिया है, यहाँ काम डेवलपमेंट करना करा जाए, ये मेरा प्राकृतिक औषधि पदार्थ है, ये यहाँ काम नहीं करा जाए, यहाँ मेरे प्राकृतिक जंगली जानवर रहते हैं, यहाँ पर ये काम नहीं करा जाए, तब ना हम बचा पाएंगे। ये प्रोटेस्ट कौन करेगा? जल पंचायत के माध्यम से होगा, जब आप ऑनरशिप लीजिएगा। मैंने 800 पंचायत में 60 नदियों पर काम किया, मैंने 1000 किलोमीटर मैंने डेढ़ नहर को जिंदा किया, मैंने 10 वेटलैंड पर काम किया, 40 लाख मैंने प्लांट लगाया, मैंने बिहार में पहली बार रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग 100 फीट का कल्पना किया, चेक डैम बनवा के मैंने वहां पर बायोडाइवर्सिटी बढ़ा दिया। चौथा एक जगह है बक्सर में, जहां मैंने वहां 3 नदी है, उस पंचायत में 3 नदी है, धर्मावती नदी, कमलाशा नदी, गंगा नदी, लेकिन वहां के लोग ड्राउट प्रभावित था, लोग वहां पर ग्राउंड वाटर से पानी निकालते थे। मैंने वहां कैच द रेन के तहत में मैंने वहां गांव के लोगों को बैठाकर मैंने सारे पानी जो बरसात का पानी ड्रेनेज हो जाते थे नदी में, मैंने सभी जगह चेक डैम, हर एक खेत तक पानी मैंने करके, मैं वहां 1000 हिरन, जब पानी होगा तो जंगली जानवर जरूर अट्रैक्ट होंगे, वहां 1000 हिरन और सैकड़ों ब्लैक बग, दुर्लभ जो प्रजाति है, वो वहां देखने को मिला। तो जब जल रहेगा तो बायोडाइवर्सिटी बढ़ेगा ही, ये बिल्कुल 100% है। वो एक सक्सेस स्टोरी वो नहीं है। सक्सेस स्टोरी मनिका मन का भी वेटलैंड था, जहां हजारों, मतलब आज हिरन और वहां जंगली जानवर देखने को मिलता है, नीम पीपल बरगद के कारण। वहां पेड़ जो पानी हमने 50 साल में पानी नहीं हुआ, मैंने बरसात का पानी को ट्रेंच में रोपा और आज वो उगा, तो आज देखिए 3 फीट 3 मीटर पर पानी मिल रहा है। सराउंडिंग जितने पंचायतें हैं सब में। उसके लिए 500 मैंने जो स्कूलों पर काम किया, स्कूल को बच्चों को मैं केवल ये नहीं बताता हूँ, साइड पर ले जाता हूँ कि चलिए वेटलैंड देखिए, ये जंगली जानवर, ये देखिए जंगल यहाँ कैसे होता है, ये नदी है, ये तालाब है, उससे हूबहू उनको रूबरू कराते हैं। उसके बाद बताते हैं कि देखो ये ड्रैगन फ्लाई, ये तितली कभी देखा नहीं था, सब कभी देखा नहीं था, आज वो देख रहा है। तो उनको जैव विविधता के बारे में मैं बताता हूँ कि आपके दादाजी ने पानी देखा था नदी में, आपके पिताजी पानी कुआं में देखे, और आप पानी देख रहे हैं चापाकल में। आप, इसका मतलब कि तीनों जगह जहां पानी था, चापाकल के इर्द गिर्द में भी बायोडाइवर्सिटी पैदा हुआ, नदी में भी हुआ, कुआं में भी हुआ। लेकिन जब आप बिस्लरी के बोतल में आपका बच्चा पानी पिएगा तो बायोडाइवर्सिटी कहाँ आएगा, और उसका बच्चा का बच्चा कहाँ पानी पिएगा, वो बायोडाइवर्सिटी कहाँ पैदा होगा। ये सोचने की चीज है जो मैंने लाखों बच्चों में ये चीज डाला, क्योंकि ये आगे आने वाली यही जल प्रणाली हमारी। तो जल पंचायत केवल प्राकृतिक से रूबरू नहीं कराता है, ऑनरशिप सिखाता है, डेमोक्रेटिक निर्णय लेने का सिखाता है, पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन सिखाता है, साथ ही जो हमारे स्टेक होल्डर स्कूली बच्चे हैं उनको ले जाकर प्राकृतिक कंपोनेंट से बातचीत भी कराया जाता है। बातचीत कराया जाता है मस्कट पहनकर, लोग मस्कट पहन के आते हैं, कोई रिवर का मस्कट पहन के आया, कोई पर्वत का मस्कट पहन के आया, कोई वर्षा जल का मस्कट पहन के आया, कोई जानवर का मस्कट पहन के आया। ऐसे मस्कट, ऐसे जितने भी हमारे नेचर कंपोनेंट है उनके साथ रूबरू होते हैं। और साथ में एक चीज मैंने और शुरू किया बच्चों के बीच में, क्रिकेट। जल के संबंधित जितने भी इंफॉर्मेशन है, जैव विविधता से रिलेटेड जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है, उसको मैंने क्रिकेट के माध्यम से दिया। क्रिकेट के माध्यम से, क्रिकेट में क्रिकेट का रन वो वर्षा का जल हुआ, क्रिकेट का रन हुआ। विकेट जो हुआ, विकेट जो हो गया वो हो गया आपका रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग हो गया। अंपायर जो हो गया वो प्राकृतिक का नियम हो गया। ऐसे कर करके मैंने जितने भी मतलब क्रिकेट का जो मतलब शब्दावली है सबको मैंने बायोडाइवर्सिटी से जोड़ दिया। और ऑलराउंडर कौन है हमारे यहाँ ऑलराउंडर है नीम, पीपल, बरगद, क्योंकि सबसे अधिक ऑक्सीजन रिलीज करता है, सबसे ज्यादा पानी भी स्टोर करता है, इसलिए मैंने उसे ऑलराउंडर का दर्जा दिया। ऐसे कर करके आप जल पंचायत जब तक नहीं लाएंगे, बायोडाइवर्सिटी के बारे में जिस तरह से वर्तमान स्थिति है, आप बायोडाइवर्सिटी जिस तरह से बहुत सारी तितलियां समाप्त हो गई। आज मैंने जहां जहां पानी रोपा, पानी उगाया, आज बायोडाइवर्सिटी दिखती है मेरे यहाँ। आज मैंने वेटलैंड में मैंने बहुत दिनों के बाद हाइड्रिला देखा, वालिसिनेरिया पौधा देखा, टाइफा मैंने देखा, कमल देखा, लाखों कमल लगे हुए। कितने सालों से कमल मैंने नहीं देखा था, आज कमल, लाखों कमल लगे हुए। उसे आय का स्रोत भी बढ़ा, एक कमल 20 से 30 रुपए में भी बिकता है, तो लाखों लगे हुए कमल, इससे आय का स्रोत भी बढ़ा, पब्लिक का भी अवेयरनेस बनेगा। तो वेटलैंड हमारा, या नदी, या पॉन्ड, या फॉरेस्ट, ये सब हमारे बायोडाइवर्सिटी का हॉट स्पॉट है, इसको बचाना है हमको आगे चलकर। और मैं पिछले 800 पंचायत हो गया, मैं पिछले आने वाले 5 साल में 2000 और ग्राम जल पंचायत बनाऊंगा बिहार में। और मेरा 40 किताब मैंने जो लिखा, मैं और बहुत सारे बुक लिखने वाला हूँ इस पर। ऐसे ही मेरी जो सक्सेस स्टोरी थी, मैंने उसको बहुत सारी जगहों पर करके मैंने बताया कि बाढ़ को पानी को विद्या न समझे, बाढ़ को पानी को अवसर समझे। ये आपका बायोडाइवर्सिटी बढ़ाने का, जहां नमी रहेगी, जहां वाटर टेबल बढ़ा रहेगा बाढ़ के पानी से, वहां आपको बायोडाइवर्सिटी जरूर दिखेगी। और वेटलैंड आपका तो भाई वो तो प्रकृति का किडनी है, फॉरेस्ट आपका फेफड़ा है ऑक्सीजन का। आप ऐसे चीजों को बचाएं और बायोडाइवर्सिटी को बनाए रखें। थैंक यू।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, आपने टाइम दिया, समय दिया। So now next, last but not least, our speaker is Mr. Sanjay Rana, who has devoted his life for nature. He is former Delhi police officer and currently director of ESRO, grassroots environmental organization based in Bagpat, Uttar Pradesh. For over 25 years, he has been running behavior change journey reaching more than 1.25 lakh students across 170 schools. He had planted over 25,000 trees, studied climate impact in Himalayas, and developed unique forest bank on cremation ground. He is the recipient of Jal Prahari Samman 2025, JP International Award, Honorary Doctorate 2026, and Ganga Sri Samman 2026. Today, he will speak on cause and effects on climate change, especially in Himalaya. Means title is जलवायु परिवर्तन के कारण एवं प्रभाव विशेषता हिमालय में. संजय राणा सर, ओवर टू यू.
सभी को नमस्कार. मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
बिल्कुल परफेक्टली आ रही है.
सभी को नमस्कार. और सबसे पहले तो जितने भी श्रोतागण हैं उन सबको बधाई कि वो पिछले 4 घंटे से इस चर्चा को सुन रहे हैं. और दूसरी बधाई जो आयोजन करता है उनको, आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा एक कलेक्शन और बहुत अच्छा एक प्रयास आपका रहा कि हर विषय के आपने स्पेशलिस्ट को यहाँ बुलाया है. मैं अपनी बात शुरू करने से पहले 2 लाइनें कहना चाहूंगा कि ये प्रकृति हम सबकी आवश्यकताओं की पूर्ति कर सकती है मगर लोग को पूरा नहीं कर सकता. और दूसरा ये है कि प्रकृति से मानव है न कि मानव से प्रकृति. लेकिन आज के समय में मानव ये मान बैठा है कि जो नेचर है वो हमसे है और हमारे अकॉर्डिंग वो चलेगी और हमारे अकॉर्डिंग वो रिएक्ट. इसी का कारण है कि क्लाइमेट चेंज जैसी एक वैश्विक जो समस्या है वो बड़ी तेजी से हमारी तरफ आती जा रही है, जिसके पूरे विश्व पे इम्पैक्ट देखे जा रहे हैं. तो उसके साथ साथ हिमालय भी उससे अछूता नहीं. लेकिन इसमें मुझे गंभीरता कम नजर आती है. हमारे जितने भी अब तक COP30, COP29, COP27 जितना भी हमारा क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर जितनी भी मीटिंगें हुई हैं, ये एक बड़ी हास्यास्पद स्थिति है कह लीजिए या एक बड़ी गंभीर विषय कह लीजिए कि इन सब के जो ऑनरशिप या उन सबको जो ऑर्गेनाइज किया वो उन लोगों ने किया जो इस क्लाइमेट को सबसे ज्यादा डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहे हैं. तो ये मेरी संवेदनाएं और वेदनाएं हैं जो मैं अपने शब्दों के माध्यम से आप लोगों के बीच में रख रहा हूँ. अब मैं जो हमारी स्टडी कहती है वो फिजिकल स्टडी है, ना कि किसी किताबी ज्ञान की या किताबों के आधार पे है. और इस स्टडी का जो बेस है वो ये है कि हमने हिमालय के जो हमारा मध्य हिमालय है जिसमें 4 धाम यात्रा या 4 धाम हमारे जितने भी देवालय हैं वो स्थित हैं, उन सब में जाके वहाँ के लोगों से जो हमने बातें की, जिसमें हमारे 3 तरह के लोगों को हमने इसमें इन्वॉल्व किया. उसमें लेडीज भी थी, उसमें जेंट्स भी थे. एक एज ग्रुप रहा 70 ईयर का, दूसरा एज ग्रुप रहा 50 ईयर का, तीसरा एज ग्रुप यूथ्स का रहा है. तो उन लोगों से जो हमने चर्चाएं की और उसके आधार पे जो हमारा ये सारा कंक्लूजन निकल के आया, तो मैं विद इन ए टाइम, जो हम क्योंकि 2 घंटा लेट हैं अपने ड्यू शेड्यूल से, लेकिन मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि मैं इस बात को अपनी 7 मिनट में ही पूरी करूंगा, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने 7 मिनट का समय निर्धारित किया हुआ है. मैं 7 मिनट में क्लाइमेट चेंज का जो इम्पैक्ट है वो हिमालय पे बड़े तेजी के साथ अब नजर आनी हो, थराली हो या जोशीमठ हो, जिस तरीके से वहाँ प्रकृति ने रिएक्ट किया वो इंसानी हस्तक्षेप का प्रभाव. और उसी का एक नतीजा ये है कि जो भी हमारे वाडिया इंस्टीट्यूट के माध्यम से या और इंस्टीट्यूटों के माध्यम से जो स्टडी आई है वो ये कहती है कि हिमालय के अंदर 426 आर्टिफिशियल झीलें बन चुकी हैं, जो कभी भी आपको 2013 की केदारनाथ की जैसी घटनाओं से वो करा सकती हैं, जिसका आपने पिछले साल 5 अगस्त को आपने धराली की जो घटना देखी, वो भी एक आर्टिफिशियल झील के टूटने की वजह से। अब बात ये आती है कि आखिरकार ये सब क्यों हो रहा है? ये सीधा का सीधा देखा जाए तो जो हमारी सरकारों का लालच है, हमारा जो मानवीय हस्तक्षेप है, वो हिमालय में बढ़ता जा रहा है। जिस तरीके से 4 धाम यात्रा के नाम पे हमने चौड़ी-चौड़ी सड़कें बनाई और जो कभी इन 800 किलोमीटर में स्लाइडिंग जोन 29 हुआ करते थे, लेकिन वो अब 811 में कन्वर्ट हो चुके हैं स्लाइडिंग जोन। जिस तरीके से मेरे से पूर्व वक्तों ने बताया या अजय साहे जी ने बताया कि वहाँ पे जनसंख्या बढ़ी है, आपको जान के ताज्जुब होगा, हो सकता है आपकी जानकारी में भी हो, कि हमारे केदारनाथ की कैपेसिटी 14,000 पर डे की, लेकिन वहाँ संख्या 1 लाख से ऊपर लोग जा रहे हैं। जब 1 लाख से ऊपर लोग जाएंगे तो स्वाभाविक है कि वहाँ पे जो वेस्ट जो हमारा गार्बेज है वो भी बढ़ेगा और वहाँ पे जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का जो स्तर है वो भी अप होगा। दूसरा, जिन वाहनों के इसके माध्यम से जो होटलों में जिस तरीके से वहाँ खाना बनाया जाता है, जिस तरीके से वहाँ पे हम लोग पहुंच रहे हैं या और जो एक्टिविटीज हैं उसमें हिमालय में ब्लैक बढ़ा है और ब्लैक कार्बन की बढ़ने की वजह से हमारी जितने भी हिमालयन रिवर्स हैं उसमें 2080 के मुकाबले मैं अगर 2025 की बात करूं तो वो ऑन एवरेज 10% फ्लो अधिक बढ़ा, यानी कि ग्लेशियर मेल्ट होने शुरू हुए हैं और उसका जो पानी है वो नदियों में आना शुरू हुआ है, जिसका एक ऑन एवरेज हम निकाल सकते हैं 10%। तीसरा जो इसका इम्पैक्ट नजर आया है, जो हमने 4 धाम यात्रा के नाम पे जो वहाँ पे पेड़ों का कटान किया है, रोडों को चौड़ीकरण किया है, जिसकी वजह से स्लाइडिंग जोन पड़े हैं, उसकी वजह से जो हीट बढ़ी है, हीट बढ़ने की वजह से वहाँ का जो हमारा जो वहाँ की परंपरागत जो पेड़ पौधे हुआ करते थे, जो वहाँ की क्रॉप हुआ करती थी, उस पैटर्न पे भी फर्क पड़ा है। जो हमारे घास के बुग्याल हुआ करते हैं, जो हिमालय में ऊंचाई के क्षेत्रों पे जो हमारे घास के मैदान जिनको हम बुग्याल बोलते हैं, उन पर बहुत असर पड़ा है और वो भी अब हीट की वजह से नष्ट की ओर है। दूसरा, जो हमारे ग्लेशियर्स हैं, जो हमारे गंगोत्री, यमुनोत्री, जो हमारी मंदाकिनी, अलकनंदा, जो इनको जन्म देने वाले ग्लेशियर हैं, वो 30-30 किलोमीटर पीछे सिकुड़े हैं। जैसे हमारा बंदरपूंछ ग्लेशियर जिससे हमारी गंगोत्री निकलती है, जो हमारा गोमुख ग्लेशियर है जिससे हमारी गंगोत्री निकलती है, गंगा भागीरथी निकलती है, ये सब 30 किलोमीटर पीछे गए हैं। ये मैं कोई डेटा, सरकारी डेटा नहीं बता रहा हूँ, ये मैं उन लोगों उन लोगों के दिए हुए स्टेटमेंट बता रहा हूँ जो 70 साल के लोग थे, जिन्होंने कहा है कि नहीं, हमने यहाँ पे बर्फ देखी है। यमुनोत्री और गंगोत्री जो आपके मंदिर हैं, यमुनोत्री मंदिर पे कभी 16 फीट 17 फीट बर्फ पड़ा करती थी, लेकिन वो अब केवल 2 या 1.5 फीट में सिकड़ के रह गई है। जो आपका गंगोत्री वैली है, उसमें जो हमारा हर्षिल जगह है, हमारा सुखी टोप है, हमारा ये धराली गांव जो खत्म हुआ है, यहाँ पे कभी 4-4, 5-5, 6-6 फीट तक बर्फ वहां के लोगों ने दर्ज की है, लेकिन अब वो केवल सेंटीमीटर में आ चुकी है। तो ये सब क्लाइमेट चेंज का इम्पैक्ट है। और सबसे जो एक शर्मनाक बात सामने आई, वो शर्मनाक बात सामने ये आई है कि हम परंपराओं के नाम पे जो जिन नदियों को हम माँ मानते हैं, उस माँ को हम कपड़ा दान करते हैं कि भाई मैंने स्नान किया है और मैं अपना कपड़ा माँ को दान करता हूँ, जबकि हमारे ओरिजिनल पिता वृद्ध आश्रम में रहते हो, लेकिन उस माँ को हम वो कपड़े के नाम पे सिंथेटिक कपड़ा देना पसंद करेंगे और वहां पे जो गंदगी फैलानी पसंद करेंगे, वो हम परंपराओं के नाम पे हो। जो क्लाइमेट चेंज हुआ है जिसकी वजह से जिसका इम्पैक्ट बारिश के पैटर्न पे पड़ा है, बारिश हिमालय में सदा बहुत हल्की और बहुत ही स्लो स्पीड से होती थी, लेकिन अब जो हमारे मैदानी इलाकों वाली बारिश है कि एकदम से मोटी बूंद पड़ना और तेजी के साथ पड़ना, ये पैटर्न जो चेंज हुआ है ये चिंताजनक है वहां पे, क्योंकि इसने स्लाइडिंग में जो हमारे लैंडस्लाइड है उसका खतरा बढ़ाया है। उसकी वजह से एक और चीज हुई है कि जो हल्की और धीमी बूंद बारिश पड़ती थी, जिसकी वजह से वहां के जो हमारे हिमालय के जो श्रृंखलाएं हैं वो पानी को सोखती थी और सोख के वो अपने आंचल में उसको रख के उससे सारे साल झरने पैदा होते, जो हमारी झरने हैं या वाटर बॉडीज हैं वो रिचार्ज होते थे। लेकिन जैसे स्पीड बढ़ी है बारिश की, उसकी वजह से बारिश पड़ती है और वो सीधा नदियों में जाता है, वो आगे तबाही मचाते हुए चला जाता है, जिसकी वजह से असंख्य हमारे वाटर बॉडीज खत्म हुई है। आपको सुन के ताज्जुब होगा और हो सकता है कुछ लोगों को जानकारी भी हो कि हिमालय में रहने वाले लोग एक सितंबर के बाद अक्टूबर नवंबर में वो पानी के क्राइसिस से रूबरू होते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे जो झरने हैं वो सूख चुके होते हैं और उनको वो फिर एक जद्दोजहद करनी होती है लंबे समय तक पानी को स्टोर करने के लिए, लाने के लिए। इस पैटर्न की वजह से जो एक चेंज वहां और देखने को मिला वो ये मिला है कि हमारे जो हिमालयन फॉरेस्ट है उसमें ड्राइनेस बढ़ी, और ड्राइनेस बढ़ने की वजह से अब आपको ताज्जुब नहीं होता होगा कि अगर आप दिसंबर के महीने में भी हिमालय में आग सुनते हैं कि भाई हिमालय में आग लगी है, तो उसने आग का खतरा भी बढ़ा है। और हमारा जो नमामि गंगे के तहत हम निर्मल गंगा की बात करते हैं, लेकिन चारों धामों के जो आसपास की क्राउड है या आसपास वहां होटल बने हुए हैं, उनका सारा वेस्ट वाटर सीधा नदियों में उड़ेला जाता है या उड़ेला जा रहा है। वहां कोई एसटीपी वगैरह ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट नहीं है। मेरे से पहले अजय जी ने बताया कि कितना प्लास्टिक, मैं उसको रिपीट नहीं करूंगा। वहां पे कोई रिसाइकिल की फैक्ट्री नहीं है, रिसाइकिल का कोई साधन नहीं है, तो वो सीधा का सीधा नदियों में उड़ेला जाता है या फिर उसमें आग लगाई जाती है। अगला जो पैटर्न देखने को मिला वहां पे वो ये मिला कि जो हमारे वहां के एनिमल्स, फॉरेस्ट एनिमल्स हैं, वो हिंसक होते जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि एक तो उनके सामने खाने की प्रॉब्लम है, दूसरा जिस तरीके से हीट बढ़ती जा रही है उसकी वजह से जैसे आदमी की मनोदशा खराब होती है, ऐसे ही हमारे पशुओं के ऊपर भी ये एक बड़ा फर्क पड़ता जा रहा है। और जिस तरीके से हमारी टिहरी झील से एवोपरेशन होता है और वहां से बादल उठते हैं, वो जिस तरीके से क्लाउड बर्स्ट की घटना बढ़ती जा रही है, वो जब से टिहरी झील बढ़ी है उन लोगों का कहना ये है कि क्लाउड बर्स्ट की घटना यहाँ पे ज्यादा बढ़ी है। एक सबसे बड़ा जो इम्पैक्ट देखने को मिला वो हमारा जो वहाँ का क्रॉप पैटर्न, जो वहाँ का हमारा राजमा, जो हमारा तुअर की दाल, जो हमारी वहाँ का आलू, जो पहाड़ी आलू होता है, उन सब के या हमारा सेब जो है, जो हमारा यह गंगोत्री वैली है वो पूरी सेब का हब है, वहाँ पे सेब ज्यादा होते हैं। तो आपको जान के ताज्जुब होगा कि वहाँ पे स्प्रे का जो बड़ा है, पहले 1 या 2 स्प्रे मुश्किल से लगते थे, लेकिन वो अब 4 या 5 स्प्रे तक वो संख्या पहुंच चुकी है, यानी कि पेस्टिसाइड आपके हिमालय में दस्तक दे चुका है। और जब पेस्टिसाइड आपके हिमालय में दस्तक दे चुका है तो आप किसी भी सूरत में क्लीन गंगा की बात नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि वो सारा का सारा वहीं से उन्हीं धाराओं से निकल के वो पानी जाता है और उन्हीं वाटर बॉडीज से वो पानी सारा जाता है जो उन बागों को सिंचित करके जाता है। तो ये एक गंभीर और बहुत डराने वाली स्थिति है। अगर हिमालय खतरे में आया तो जो गंगा यमुना का बेसिन है उसमें रहने वाले जो 50 से 60 करोड़ लोग हैं वो तो खतरे में होंगे ही होंगे, नो डाउट, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। लेकिन पूरे देश के जो एग्रीकल्चर पैटर्न है, पूरे देश में जो मानसून पैटर्न है, उस पे एक बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव पड़ेगा। जिस तरीके से ग्लेशियर घटते जा रहे हैं, पानी का क्राइसिस बढ़ता जा रहा है, ये आने वाले समय में एक गंभीर समस्या लेगा। मेरा समय हो चुका है, मैं इसलिए अपनी बात को यहीं रोकूंगा। कहने को तो बहुत कुछ था, लेकिन आप लोगों की हिम्मत और आप लोगों की जो पेशेंस है उसको सलाम करते हुए, नमस्ते करते हुए मैं अपनी वाणी को यहीं विराम देता हूँ। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Now session is open for question answer. If you means any participant have any question to the our speakers, they can raise their voice, unmute the mic, and you can ask. Otherwise, you can also drop your question in the chat box. किसी को कुछ भी कहना, समझना, बोलना है, you can ask the questions. And the next is the quiz. हम लोग लिंक यहाँ पर शेयर करने जा रहे हैं for the environment quiz. Who fill the quiz, then it will be means automated certificate will be generated by Certify EM. But it will take time. You have to fill the form, and it will be shared on your email ID. Before going to share the link for the quiz, I will thank for all the speakers. As we come to the close of this wonderful session on the World Environment Day 2026, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to everyone who made this event a grand success. First and foremost, I express our deepest gratitude to all the distinguished speakers who took the time from their busy schedule to share their invaluable insight with us. Your expertise and passion have truly enlightened us, Professor Mihir Vyas, Professor Dr. S. Ganpati sir, Professor Dr. Krupesh Chauhan, Dr. P.K. Patajoshi, Dr. Susil K. Tyagi sir, Dr. Seema Nihalai, Dr. Devang Shah, Dr. Rupali Goyal, Dr. S. D. Tiwari, Mr. Ashish Mehta, Mr. Dr. Ajay Sahai, Mr. Sanjay Rana sir. Each of you brought a unique and one powerful perspective from the sustainable lifestyle and climate resilience to the ESG reporting, AI environment, water conservation, biodiversity, and pressing challenge in the Himalaya. Thank you for being here and guiding the lights on this event. I also extend our sincere thanks to the participants, students, researchers, professionals, academicians, environmentalists, ethicists for the active engagement and thoughtful questions. And also, I thank for the technical team for managing for this online session on YouTube stream and Google team, etc. With that, I declare this World Environment Day event closed. So I will share the link in this Gmeet session, also on the WhatsApp group, so everyone can share their question answer. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, if anyone want to share anything, any type of question, any type of suggestion, opinion, so they can share here. I'm just sharing the screen for not screen, actually the link for the environment quiz, followed by the certificate.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. हाँ, राठौर सर.
हाँ, बोलिए ना सर.
Hello.
हाँ, आपकी आवाज आ रही है.
My submission is the environmental education should be the mandatory for all level of educations. So the government of India is not accepting this notification, government order issued by the Honorable Supreme Court of India.
Yes, of course, it should be. Of course, we have to take initiatives. Yes.
Yes, we should also sensitize to the government of India. Last time I have so many correspondence with the HRD, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan sir, also Supreme Court, also NGT also regarding these issues, and also our state government also. But this